Ferox. We want to give you a little color commentary. We're not going to bring you picture-in-picture at the moment as we're switching to Famacity observing, and he didn't get into the game. So we're just going to be giving you a little color commentary, trying to work you through what's going on at the moment. And then game 2, we'll have Famacity up in there running the observer, and we'll give you a crystal clean show hopefully the rest of the way. So at the moment, I mean, what we're looking at, 303's controlling the west side at the moment. It looks like Atletico has the northeast side. Singularity on the southeast side, and Hayden and Soup from Livid just camping out right in the middle with all these other teams trying to make their way in. What are you seeing here from Mats?
Yeah, so this zone it shaped up to end kind of in the, even though phase 2 was kind of had a lot of water in it still around Puerto Paraiso, it ended up ending in that circle of Miramar with the road from Leones down to Puerto Paraiso, then back up to Impala, where the double warehouse compound is in the middle of that area. Is kind of where it ended. But yeah, like you said, 303 still controlling the ridge with the long building out the east side off the east hill of Leones. Atletico is still just slow playing their way in from the northeast from their travels of Impala. And then that double warehouse compound that I mentioned is outside of the zone on the north side. So it is getting very congested inside of these ridges here in this particular part of the map. And especially with this zone getting ready to close in, we're probably going to see quite a bit of death. Soniqs are currently pushing the new Soniqs roster. Nice to see. Going to be pushing straight over to where Wildcard is, and they're actually going to be able to clear them out of one of the main dips on the, kind of near the south side of the road here. We do see Metagaming with 2 people on their vehicle. They're going to be full sending it in, but we do have a few teams still outside the zone on the south side. They're going to need to find some playable areas as they're getting ready to cross the road and have tons of people looking at them.
For sure, and Team Ferox trying to pick up what they can, but they are about to run into SDK here, and there it goes. Luke takes down Ferox, and Ferox going to be leaving the match at 13th out of 16th here. A lot of teams trying to make their way in a circle, so we're going to be seeing a lot of action over these next couple minutes. Luke taking down somebody from Team Bliss, Venerated over on American Dragon taking down Batty Lull, and there goes Metagaming going out at 12 out of 16. Balefrost trying to make his way in with Venerated, but Silers is trailing, smelling blood. Cherry dies to the zone. Duel, he was camping blue, had no way to cross the road freely, and there he goes denying the point. Silers takes down Venerated from behind, and yeah, we're really making our way into this match here, just from 13 to 9 teams in literally less than 30 seconds there.
Yeah, definitely did the death circle this part of the map. All the teams, just basically everybody that tried to get across the road, except for I believe the team down there, Critical Motion, Jumbi, and Team Bliss. I couldn't see the last name because Critical Motion's covering up. But Purdy's going to find Kickstart hanging out in the middle of the zone, trying to snake it out. So that's going to be Wildcard going out in 9th place, down to 8 teams now. And like you said, yeah, just this one zone, 13 teams down now to 8 on the next zone pop. So we're going to see probably a few more teams, especially with this next zone shift, as the west side of the zone did come out. So 303 is going to have to come off the hilltop over there, kind of into some flat territory. They're going to have to pick which way they kind of want to wrap. And either way they're going to be doing, they're going to be going. They're probably going to be looking at some people that's going to be applying pressure. But Sizzler gets an opening knock on the Shrimzy inside the zone, so might be able to alleviate some of that, so they're able to find an entry, as well as other people bleeding some bodies around the map as well. This is definitely a time.
Havoc on the west side there. He's just coming in, taking shots, bailing out. Coming in, taking shots, bailing out. And it looks like Trophy's there going to stick the revive right now.
Penta actually finds a foothold just on the west side there. I don't know if it's safe in a good spot for 3 people to be potentially sitting, but it looks like that's where they are going to send it to. Team Bliss on the south side, they do lose Jumbi, and they are going to have to figure out how they want to enter in the zone here with Soniqs right on the edge with them. But yeah, 303 actually do make it inside the zone there, just on I would assume a small ridge over on the west side. H-Man goes down. Kodiak goes down from Singularity. So yeah, people just getting picked off left and right as they're peeking the small ridges throughout this part of the map. While Livid is just hanging out dead center of the zone, just chilling in the nice big crack, so no one's going to be looking at him. But just like that, Soniqs actually get walked up on as they were trying to recover from the knocks by Team Bliss on the south side of the zone. They get picked out, and immediately we see Shoot to Kill is going to come over to try to clean that up, and Luke does clean up that little scrappy fight between them, as Critical Motion is going to go down to 5 teams now. And now Shoot to Kill, after all that, is in pretty good control, I would say, of the south side of the zone here.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really incredible watching these teams how they move as soon as they see a knock on the board and where it is. They just go in for blood. They go in for the kill. You saw Luke and Purdy kind of teaming up there, moving in together, and they got the job done. But now we're looking at 303 SDK stalemate. But as we say that, Alo gets the opening knock on Silers and
Oh
transitions
wow.
to D-Rich. Wow, the quick double kill there.
Yeah, gonna pick both of those off. They're obviously gonna hear Pinta hop in this vehicle and try to drive over, so probably gonna see all three of them just kind of spray at Pinta as he's driving over. Not able to get the knock. He is able to drive over and regroup with them. And Purdy's pressing W over there towards their side, kind of crossing that dirt path to see if he can get the angle here. And he is going to spot Pinta on the side angle, and he is going to take him out. So great shots by Alo, and then the flank by Purdy. Going to go ahead and get the elimination onto 303 on the west side there. But the zone did not favor them. Purdy, as he went over there, is now going to get spotted out by Nick of Athletico. He is going to get knocked. So now Shoot to Kill's in a tough spot on the south side of the zone where they basically have to walk right up to the crack where Caden and Soup are playing at for a Livid if they kind of want to continue moving forward inside this zone. Down to 4 teams now. Only one Snake left alive, hanging out over on the east side of the zone for Singularity. Inside the zone, so probably see him live for a little bit longer. But now it's looking like Athletico still 4 alive. Probably going to be able to close this game out.
Yeah, definitely. Seemingly, this is Atletico's game to lose at the moment as they take high ground up on that ridge there. They're leaving Nick back to kind of oversee things, trying to clear their backside on the north. And Caden and Soup just looks like they're holding and waiting for some sort of move to happen from either of these teams. You look at Quick over on Singularity. He's just holding edge at the moment, laying in a position that nobody could see them. And then Luke and Alo trying to snake and sneak their way in. So all these teams trying to really coordinate around each other at the moment without overextending too much. But Atletico just holding out up there at the top.
Yeah, they got to be careful. You know, I'd imagine they have a pretty good idea of kind of the kill count or the body count, I would say, of what's going on this map. So obviously, being that form, and they probably could just sweep and clear if they really want to. But playing it safe, playing it slow, not wanting to overextend. I think they're going to wait for the zone to close to see what Shoot to Kill has to do there on the south side of the zone before they go make for a move. But the one thing they really don't want to do is just like run down into that crack. They probably know that Soup and Caden are down there. So putting themselves in that situation is definitely not what they want to do. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a stalemate here again, just until this zone closes, and then we'll see what team has to make a play after that.
100%. Zone is slowly coming in. Alo and Luke playing with the zone to their back. We're going to see Quick move in here in just a second. And we'll see the way these teams operate with this new last pop here. Folks, we do apologize about the technical difficulties. We'll be coming in with Themacity observing, so you'll have picture-in-picture for Game 2 through 6 today. And then we should be back to normal with normal production on the 303 channel as of tomorrow. We just had some difficulties. Dave was really sick, lost his voice. Esquire, internet went out. Seal, internet went out. So we're just kind of picking up the pieces where we can, and we will have backups for all these people moving forward. So we do apologize about that. But here we go. Looks like Atletico is starting to take pop shots towards Alo and Luke. Soup and Caden still just laying low. Caden just maybe he thinks somebody's out there out to the west. I'm not sure really what he's looking at, but that's what's going on at the moment. Singularity still not moving. Just gonna continue to play Snake, continue to play spoiler there, probably until the zone starts moving in on its backside in 5 seconds here.
Yeah, it might be a little risky for him. I don't know what the angle is on that hill for Athletico to be looking down at him. But Caden on that off angle over on the edge of the crack is going to spot Shoot to Kill, trying to make their way over. Soup not in a position to able to support some shots towards him. Now Zoid does find the final member of Singularity. Caden with a nade onto Luke is going to get the knock there. So Livid holding the crack strong. And then follow up with another nade, going to get another nade onto Alo. So Caden, 2 nades back to back, able to kill both members of Shoot to Kill. A little bit of Athletico influence over the top with some stray shots coming in. But now down to a 4v2 with Athletico over on the north side. And then Caden and Soup in the crack ravine area. Just going to try to fight their way out of this one.
Indeed, and you saw them starting to flex and fan out, and then one of them must have called bring it back in together because they were all spread out across that, and now they're all kind of coming back together here. So we're looking at a 4v2. Soup and Caden keeping their patience, remaining strong. At the moment, according to the numbers, it's Atletico's game, but Soup's really positioned well here next to the center. Atletico, as they push up on the other side of that center. Hopefully they continue to make a move in. Let's see if I can get some view as to what's going on.
Yep, the star has revealed itself. It is already closing in as well. Like you said, Soup, he is pretty dead center. Caden does have a little bit of an overwatch over the top of his hill if Athletico try to get super aggressive early and make their way over there. But at this point, just a time game. Athletico, power and numbers, probably just going to sweep and clear and try to get everything. But, you know, I can't count Soup and Caden out. Very capable players. Still the potential is there for them to pull this one out, but Caden taken very low. That's going to immediately call and open up for the push up over the top. Extreme, Flood going to be the first two to peek the ridge. Caden and Soup both are there looking. Flood's going to go down. Caden's going to get traded. Extreme and Soup, last two up. Soup's going to get a second, but now Nick's here, down to a 1v1. Another one. Soup has 3 down to a 1v1. He is low HP. But power and numbers, it is going to be Zoidmate, the final member of Athletico, coming up over the top. Finally going to get the final shots in onto Soup and finish the game out for Athletico there. 9 kills. Wow. Hey, Soup almost did it. I think if he was able to stay maybe a little bit more, like more 2 shot instead of 1 shot in terms of HP there right at the end, he might have been able to do it, but almost coming up huge there for Livid. Soup HD, the coach coming in and get 4 kills for them, 9 kills in total for Athletico in the first place. 4 kills, like I said, for Livid. Shoot to kill, fragging out as always. Going to come in with 12 kills and the 3rd place. Singularity going to wrap up the Snake game in 4th place with 0 kills. And then 303 down there with Sizzler having 2 kills in the 5th place.
For sure. Incredible ending there. Soup almost able to pull that off for Team Livid there against Athletico, but Zoidmate closing the deal, getting the win in game 1 here. Folks, it wasn't the best start, but we're making it work. I mean, what would the 303 Royale be without a day 1 catastrophes, repeating of last season? But we're here. We're making it work for you. And special shout out to Famacity, picking up the observing, picking up the casting, coming in and joining me. We do appreciate all of you guys hanging with us, making this work, and we will be bringing you picture-in-picture for the next game, moving on through Game 6. So just give us here a few minutes to get the next lobby up and going. We'll be right back with you. Alrighty, folks, we're back this time with some beautiful Miramar picture-in-picture courtesy of lovely Famacity. I'm Apples, this is Famacity, and we're going to be giving you our best shot at making this bare bones production work to bring you guys 2020 PUBG action. Today is the first day of the 303 Royale. We are having some technical difficulties, and our broadcast will be as normal tomorrow on the 303 Esports channel for the European League, and we'll be back up and running next week for Americas as well. But at the moment, we're looking at a nice center split plane path. Talk to me about this, Famacity.
Yeah, right down the middle. I think it's last games, even though I wasn't necessarily here. I think I caught it on the stream. It was a very vertical plane patch, just a little bit farther towards the east. But this one, yep, right down the middle. Going to be right over the top of Picado. So I didn't get to see exactly where all the teams dropped in the first game, but I imagine just about every team should be pretty happy here with this plane path that's going to be coming up for them. Should be relatively easy for any team to get exactly where they want to go.
100%. Absolutely. Got a 15-second countdown here. Ready to be getting into the plane for game number 2. This is game number 2 of the 303 Royale Americas. Famacity and I, after this game, will review the scoreboard, kind of give you guys an update of what is happening. You could also do ! Leaderboard in the chat, and one of those links will bring you to an updated leaderboard. Keep in mind, it does take a few minutes after the game for the leaderboard and the statistics to update. Also, we are partnered with RadianceGG. Feel free to go look at their website. They have statistical analysis, rotation paths, the map, all kinds of good stuff for your viewing needs. So go shout out RadianceGG there on their website. Go take a look at what they got going on. But here we go. We're looking at the plane, and looks like Radiance, Zenith here, Team Bliss all jumping out early, just like last time. Team Bliss elected to go South Leones in between the coast and Leones itself. Radiance went to Puerto last time. It looks like they're doing the same. Roth and Zenith could only stretch just far enough west, but now it looks like they're going over to their drop spot of Los Higos and Valle del Mar. Looks like we got Red Canids, Chumacera. 303 is flying over to La Bendita, over to their typical Impala drop. We'll see if they ended up landing there. Oath going over Graveyard and Minas. Soniqs landing in Picado. Do you see anything from this, Famacity? Any takeaways here?
It's a little odd not seeing Genesis going Picado, but it's understandable why, as they are now the Soniqs. But that's okay. One thing I gotta say to Roth dropping down there in Los Higos, he is grabbing a vehicle and driving more towards the bridge, but I can't imagine Los Higos is a very favorable spot to be looting, so he's gonna instead drive to the east down here, kind of towards the concrete pryos and then maybe the gas station area. But we are playing our zone pop. It is going to be down on the south side of the map. Once again, not necessarily as far southeast as the previous one. Dead center going to be basically in between Chumacera and Los Leones, that kind of stretch of terrain on the map. We don't really see anybody, early fights or early hot drops or anything too crazy happening between any of these teams. One thing I do want to note, 303 not opting to drive all the way towards Impala with all their members. They are still going to stay a little bit more towards the center of the map. Should be able to get enough loot for all of them inside of the warehouse compounds that it looks like they are going to be grabbing. One thing I do want to note, though, is a little bit of an interesting drop to me is we do have Shoot to Kill is in their standard Hacienda, but we also have Singularity squeezing themselves in between Zenith, Ferox. Looked like a Zenith logo. It went off logos there, but it didn't. Isn't them. They're over in Cruz de Val. So sandwiching themselves in between those teams. Hopefully they're able to get what they need. It should be able to. But yeah, zone going to be a little bit on the south side of the map again.
For sure, 100%. Looking here, it looks like Wildcard taking their typical drop spot in Power Grid. No real surprises if you're a fan of competitive PUBG and you watch closely. Most of these teams are taking their typical drop spots. I did see, obviously, Leones. You see how those two teams have kind of split the city without fighting as well. You got Meta on the north side, American Dragon with Maluk, Venerated, Vegas. Those guys taking the south end. And I believe Bliss, I think that they also take Leones as well. So they're figuring out how to adjust with both of those teams being there. So definitely some adjustments to make, especially when you get into this out of region play and you get into kind of worlds. You're used to just playing your NA people and your SA people and your Oceanic people. So you're used to having these drops Well, now, as you can see, we have an SA and an NA and an OCE all fighting over one spot in essence there. Definitely bringing in more regions causes a little bit more chaos, which we love here in PUBG.
Yeah, and Soniqs taking their early exit out of Picado as they typically have for a very long time. It is going to be them pulling up here in the compound where Sizzler is at. H-Win's going to be the front man. Sizzler's going to spot him on the bike. Shots are there, not able to connect. Well, he does connect, but not able to connect with the knock. And here comes the rest of the team going to be coming in as well. Full crash coming out. It's going to be a 4v1. He is coming around the side of the wall. Going to try to get some shots in. Mime's going to get taken very low. Does get knocked. So one there for Sizzler. Going to go for the second, trading with Profi. More shots from the building over the top. Sophia coming in to regroup over on the west side. Is going to get a second one. So almost going to get a third. Sophia might be able to get the return knock onto that. D-Rich is there. He does. And now it is going to be just one member left alive for the Soniqs. It is going to be H-Win in the double story wide on the south side of the map. He's going to try to run over and regroup to try to get some reses, but Sophia not going to let that happen. Now he's probably just going to be forced to get on his bike and cut his losses and get the heck out of Dodge.
You know, I'm not trying to be biased at all, but incredible awareness from the 303 team. They're one up on that compound, getting crashed by the entire team.
Wow.
And there it goes. There it goes. D-Rich finishing it up. They were one up, and out of nowhere, Silers makes the call. He holds correctly. Sophia and D rush in for support. Penta way out far east. Couldn't make it in time, but they got the job done. So GG's to 303 there.
Absolutely. Great collapse coming out by them. Great single hold coming out from Sizzler as well. Able to get 2 knocks to really open that up and delay for his teammates to come over. And yeah, like you said, no bias or anything, especially from me. But yeah, honestly, a great play coming out from them. And they're going to be able to grab a great spot inside phase 1.
100%. As we look, Atletico starts to move through Monte to get in theirs. But there's Zenith with some action. Zenith and Red Canids starting to get involved in the mix there. Oldest getting the knock and flush on kill demo there. We'll have to move in. Also, it's starting to get congested in that kind of southwest, south central area right now with Team Bliss, Radiance, Red Canids, and Zenith all piling up. Fiasco looking like to get out of there to regroup with Rusty Zera and one. But at that moment, he's looking to get into a little freedom, and here comes Livid. Bam, right into them. So trying to figure out exactly what fights to be taking on their end.
Yeah, Red Canids, honestly, a good, strong split coming out from them. Unfortunately, they do just lose the one body early from Zenith pulling up on the one part of the hill that they kind of weren't watching. Unfortunate for them, but they are going to regroup, kind of get a little bit closer together, which usually, in those types of situations, you know, those early 2-2 splits or those splits that hold a lot of territory is fine. But if you do find yourself, you know, losing that one body super early, playing splits with 3 men is a lot tougher with it than it is with 4, so be a little bit more conservative. It looks like that's what they're going to be doing, hanging out more around the church area. Got to be careful, though, as we go take another look at 303. They did just try to send D-Rich, or I believe it was D-Rich over. Maybe it was Sophia to go try to go for a split from themselves. Got sprayed at, decided to come back and just stay stacked up. They do got to be careful. Shoot to kill is on the ridge just to the north, and they are making moves. Going to be grabbing the compound just to their northeast as well.
And you also look at Singularity coming in on the east side. Looks like that whole entire east side of the map right now completely free. Singularity going to have no problem just walking in. Oath as well, a little far out. I believe they're just kind of stopping, scouting, maybe a little bit looting. And here they go. They're jumping into their cars, moving down east as well. Duel coming right into the center, rotate, as well as Ferox from way up north coming down, just getting into the circle. But we see right now the center of the zone is extremely congested. All of the edge right now is free for most of these teams to take and play edge, but most of these teams electing to just get a compound or a dip or a ridge and send it center at the moment. And see all, like, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams all centered up on each other right now.
Yeah, so hopefully, you know, we get a little bit of a hard shift for phase 2, maybe favor a little bit of the edge teams that are going to be coming in. But one thing quickly going to notice here, Sophia is going to be pulling up at the compound here where Ragnar is at, straight in, not even going to potentially see that someone's there, hops off the buggy and is going to get taken down. So probably scouting this compound out from their compound over to the northwest. And then not just realizing that I believe Ragnar is still there. Can't blame them for wanting to take more territory, give them a potential option if they needed to head south across that road leading into Leones, as they are pretty huddled on and committed towards the north side here. But going to bleed another body down to just 2 men. Still manageable for them to be able to make it into the late game with good movements. But they are going to be in a little bit of a tough spot here for the rest of the game. But they picked up 4 early kills, so you know, take what you can get, I guess, with that one here. Luke's got to be careful, though. He's getting ready to drive right down the road, right towards Lamp and Wooly here at this compound, and he's going to be pulling straight up. Lamp, oh, no, he turned around. Okay. I think I think
like disaster.
Yeah, no, I think his teammates had to have like spotted someone from the compound way back down there to the west and told him to turn around. I imagine that's kind of what happened there, as he was trying to get baited into the compound by Wooly and Lamp there. But they should be okay. Phase 1 getting ready to close in here. Everybody kind of setting up and staging for the Phase 2 pop, which is going to be back up towards the northeast. So your late rotating teams, Oath and Ferox, are going to be, you know, given a little generosity there by the PUBG gods. Duel going to be in a good position as well, as they're going to try to reposition quickly to grab what is favorable to them. And I imagine with this zone, we see a lot of teams try to swing all the way back up towards the north side of the zone and kind of avoid going through the maze that is Leones this early in the game.
Absolutely. And looking at this, teams are starting to all make their movements towards the northeast right now. Oath looking I don't know if they're looking at the third party and know that Duel is shooting at Ferox right now, if they're trying to get involved or if they're just trying to hold that Bandita Ridge, but they're making moves. Looking at Singularity right here, holding tight. Not sure if they're electing not to shoot on purpose to hold their position, but see American Dragon kind of rotating right on past them, as Radiance is going to know that information and look to loop even further around.
Yeah, but it looks like here Wildcard actually pulling up onto the compound with 303. So 303 getting some more action here in the early game. Penta gets the opening knock, taken very low, forced to use the first aid. It is going to be a nade through the window by Big Thumer. Keenan himself going to get the nade knock there. So it's just going to be D-Rich left alive in the south part of the compound. So 303 just unable to avoid the early game shenanigans this game. Are going to be down to just one player now. It is going to be D-Rich. I don't know if he is near any vehicles to be able to, you know, drive his way out of this one. So it looks like he's just going to try to foot his way out towards the east, maybe find a spot. Little does he know, Luke is going to be waiting out there for him. And shots are there, so he knows he's there. And red cannons actually do go down off screen to Zenith, as I believe it's going to be over on the west side here. As it looks like they just crashed the compound where they were grouped at. So unfortunate for the red cannons. Similar situation to 303, finding some action early, not able to get anything going into the late game, but they are going to be taken out in 15th place. D-Rich slow lurking here onto the ridge here onto Luke, so might be able to find him up over the top here in just a second, depending on how aggressive he wants to get on this. No pressure applied to his south side just yet, so if now's the time to make it, or make the play if he's going to do it. But playing it slow, can't blame him.
100%. Let's see here what we got going on. Teams are starting to fill in nice pack, nice and neat. You still have 14 teams up on this phase here. It looks like SDK getting involved with everybody at the moment with a little bit of Wildcard, a little bit 303. And there it goes, D-Rich sneaking out Luke 12 at the moment.
Oh, man. Yeah, he gets the knock-in flush and then immediately just, bang, gets shot in the head from the other members of Shoot to Kill turning. But he is going to be okay. For now, we do see another check at the map after watching all that. Everybody did reposition, I'd say, nicely. Radiance did swing back around towards the east side of the map. And then also, like you said, Singularity, after their, you know, they were kind of close, kind of getting a little engaged there with American Dragon. But they're still just going to favor huddling on the south side, over scouting Leones to see where they can come in. Sizzlin is going to spot D-Rich running on the ridge there. Going to try to find a prone spot. He does get behind a small ridge. His teammate over in Sparkling, over in the 5-stack, I believe, was the one who was able to get the shots in for the finish. And now he's going to turn his attention over to Critical Motion and the rest of Bliss as they're rotating into Leones on his west side. Ooh, great shots coming out onto Jumbi there. These are almost free shots, but he's going to get back behind that rock and be A-okay. Oh, boy.
Absolutely. Oh, boy, indeed. I'm hearing from the chat that it seems like the screen might be a little off. Is there any way you can just pull up that beautiful OBS? And
let me take a gander real quick. Oh, goodness gracious, the right side of the map is off.
Hey, we hear your feedback, and we're making it work, folks. We're making it happen. We'll get you that kill feed up and running. We are on a delay, so you are hearing our voice minutes after what actually happened. So we'll get that all fixed up.
I have a quick explanation for those of you who want to know why that is. I normally play on 1720 by 1080 resolution, so whenever I switch back to the standard 1920 for this, I forgot to change it back to what it should be. But there it goes. It is switched up now. You'll guys
He's
see
a
it.
gamer, folks.
Yeah,
He's a gamer. Look at him.
you'll guys see it. You'll guys see it fixed here in 5 minutes. So great. Hey, appreciate chat for letting us know. But yeah, I can understand how that might be a little tilting for the viewers. So my apologies, guys. I do apologize.
100%. Thank you, Femasity, for that. And moving forward, we're looking at all these teams moving in. Again, only one team has dropped off from the last circle to this circle. We went from 14 to 13 teams. Each team kind of squeezing in, tightly knit, tightly packed into the circle. We have Radiance controlling basically the entire east side. Batty controls their compound out in the field. Aguila, Nerf, and McCoy controlling the compound on the road there. Looks like Oath has some vision over the top, looking down on Meta Gaming and American Dragon. You've got Singularity just sneaking their way in south. And if you look, most of the south circle is completely free, so they should be fine. But moving forward, I mean, all these teams, Athletico making their rotate right now, and Grumps is lighting them up. We'll see if Ferox can get it done.
Yeah, Sweet Soul going to get the vehicle explosion on Athletico, rotating around this north side of the map. The lone last man there for Athletico not going to be able to make it with his teammates, grabbing the north side of the Bedita Ridge. So Phase 3 was another hard shift back towards the northeast, so it is going to, once again favor those late rotating teams. Oath find themselves in a really good spot. Athletico making the rotation around. Big split coming out for Radiance, as Batty is just going to be out here in the Sharky compound overwatching this field, basically just keeping track to see if anybody rotates onto this side of the map behind them. So really good play or positional play come out here for Radiance. Very smart, just to keep track of their bearings so they don't get anybody coming up too close behind them. But it is going to get pretty congested, I reckon, over here on this west side of the map. Over here where we see Livid is now going to be overlooking where Zenith and Wildcard are at. So potentially going to have two teams they're going to have to deal with here, as Wildcard's going to bomb down into the crater. Not one of my more favorable spots of the map, but they are going to go ahead and grab it for now.
And definitely we're looking at a hard north shift.
Oh, goodness.
There. Got some teams fed with Oath and Ferox, and Duel and Meta are really, as you can see, the 2-2 split from Meta. These guys are pulling up real fast, crashing their teammates, and they know they're going to control this with Sparking and Sizeland. Right now we're seeing a fight. It looked like Zenith was getting involved with Wildcard, but it seems like Wildcard is crashing their team on the compound there. Livid holding that down as well as they look, and Ferox and SDK also getting themselves into an engagement on the northwest side there.
Yeah, so Wildcard's in a tough spot here. They are in their vehicles. They are making a play, which is what they need to do. They definitely did not just want to delay sitting down inside of the giant hole crater here compound. They're going to grab the ridges that are just on the edge here on the west side of the zone, but they're going to have to keep track of what Zenith does behind them. Zenith is hopping in their vehicles, making a play as well, but Meta completely just going to obliterate Livid as they went for a full crash onto the two concrete structures just on the north side of the road here, and that is going to be a quick squad wipe and quick accumulation of points coming out from Meta.
Yeah, Meta was not letting that fly as Livid came screaming down the road. As you can see, a nice 4-team fight here between SDK, Wildcard, Zenith, and Duel. All teams trying to get into each other. Roth and Zenith looking to rotate out towards the blue, trying to get over that crescendo as much as they can there. And down south, we have American Dragon and Singularity duking it out as Singularity tries to rotate into the zone themselves. Radiance, Batty Low getting crashed in the northeast zone right now by Jumbi and crew. That's not looking good. And it looks like McCoy's pulling up to Batty for support there. And here comes Aguila as well. So these teams trying to figure out exactly what fights to be taking at the moment, how to get into the zone safely. And we're looking up for a lot of action here in the next minute.
Yeah, lots of fights breaking out all over the place. Batty going to be here by himself. He does get the opening knock, so it is going to be, I think it's a, 2v3 now with the regroup, or a 2v4 as all the members here for Radiance are regrouped here inside of this compound, going to be supporting their teammates. Jumbi is split over on the north side, and Critical Motion is going to be in the small building here just on the south side of Batty. I don't know if they know he's here. Just off screen, though, choosing to watch the other fight. Unfortunately, we do miss the squad wipe of Team Singularity. Down on the south side of the map, we'll take a quick look at the carnage. Looks like there's going to be 4 men alive still for American Dragon, so good for them. Batty, I think, did discover critical motion in the building just on his south side. Nerf is going to get textile, or the flush on the textile there. And now shots being exchanged between him and critical motion, who is on fire from Batty's molly. Aguila is going to step over towards the side and get the knock there. So now it is just going to be Jumbi, where I imagine Radiance, a group of very strong players, have a good understanding of where he's probably at.
As you see on the east side, lots of congestion going on. I can't even make way. You got Zenith, SDK, Wildcard all on top of each other. A 3-team fight going on the east side, with Ferox just streaming down on them with bullets all over the place. And here comes Duel and Meta also putting in. Look at this.
Goodness gracious, people stepping up. Oldest is going to get the final member on, or final kill onto Pretty Curdy, force you to kill there. Big Thumer is hanging out inside of the shack. So after all that is said and done, all of those fights, all those third parties with Meta, Duel, and Ferox, all third party, it is just Zenith and Wildcard, both with one member left alive. I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea how Zenith was able to get up that hill and get over on the north side of this hill in front of Shoot to Kill. Definitely will be one to go and rewatch and take a look at how they were just about able to do that. But Big Thumer gets taken out by Meta all the way from the south, from downtown, and that is going to be Wildcard going out in 10th place. Going to alleviate a little bit of the pressure here for Zenith. Still two-man. Zone heavily favored them with this Phase 5 hardship, so they're just going to be able to hang out there for a little bit longer.
I'll tell you, this game looked very grim for Zenith as of a phase ago, and now they're in a decent position, looking to still have 2 up as well after all that fighting. They came around into the blue just a little bit to take a little damage to get around into a safe position. So excellent play calling and rotations there from Zenith. Venerated sending it right now into a dip on the ridge, but you have both Oath and Meta firing away on them, and it doesn't look too good at the moment for them. Vegas also scouting things out, calling Radiance far on the east side, trying to make their way into the circle as well.
No.
It looks like they might be running into Athletico here shortly.
Oh no, this Exploded Murado slowly rolling down the hill. Unfortunate for them, and they're going to find themselves in a sandwich position between the shots coming in from Oath and Meta. Yeah, they're going to get aggressive. They're going to come right up to this, probably throw some nades up over the top. But some retaliation coming out from Bale as he anticipates that, going to throw some nades for himself. I don't know if Meta wants to get too aggressive on this, because Duel, like I was just saying, Wooly with the headshot of the M24 is going to get the knock onto Kritzim there for Meta. So they're going to be in, recovery mode a little bit, trying to get that res. But yeah, here we go. American Dragons, they are just in a super tough spot as shots are just being thrown left and right at them.
Definitely getting congested in the northeast corner and the south. We'll see how this ends up turning out. Duel just really have been sitting pretty for at least 3 circles as far as I can remember. These guys just been holding this compound and have been farming and picking up a lot of ADR all around them, just lighting into teams, destroying that armor, getting their HP low. And here they go again, taking on Balefrost, and there's the knock from Michael. Rello also taking down Vegas, and that's going to do it for American Dragon, leaving in 8th place, picking up that placement point.
Yeah, and like you're saying, Duel hanging out in the center compound, but they are going to get, a little adventurous and step out the south side to try to get some angles over there on Meta. Lamp steps up over the ridge there and spots multiple members down in that bull. Seeing this, just seeing if they could get, an early pick and try to, kill one of them or so, but not able to get it. So they very smartly regroup back into the compound. But yeah, like you were saying, congested over here on the northeastern side as we see 2 teams down in Vendetta. Oath going to be occupying the ridge on the south side, as well as Ferox. They've been, a team sitting pretty as well for a good majority of this game, just coming in late from phase 1 and phase 2 and occupying the compounds out on the west side of the ridge here. But Snakers and Shinboy, they are going to be overwatching what's going on down here in Vendetta. They got 6 players to take some looks at and maybe get some shots in at, but got to be careful because shots can ring back at them, and they definitely don't want to get knocked here in this situation. A molly on the nerf, what?
Yeah, there goes the molly knock on the nerf, and it's just Aguila at the moment trying to make a play, I believe. All these teams are congested. Oh, McCoy is up as well. He's going to be landing some cover as they try and stick the res, trying to hold back Oath from pushing. Not sure why Athletico hasn't made a move there, but they're electing to play it a little bit more safe. Ferox controlling the center and north of the zone. So honestly, to me, it's looking like it could be Ferox's Duel's game. You got Athletico that could come over the top of Benditas Ridge. A lot of things can happen at the moment. You do have Zenith kind of 2v1 in Mikkel here. looking his way, but they're going to sneak into the zone, and there's Meta taking shots on Duel. So all their teams just kind of waiting for the zone to push in, waiting to see what moves the other teams make before they can capitalize.
Yeah, and it looks like Athletico, they are just waiting for Radiance to have to come out of these buildings. Nick is going to try to get some shots in there on the left side of the compound. McCoy, though, swinging close to the edge of blue, maybe going to potentially cut them off guard, but it's going to be Nerf going down from Oath from the top of the hill. McCoy is going to go down as well, so it's just going to be Aguila catching Nick's back there, not able to connect with the shots in the kill feed. We do see Michael goes down to the members of Oldest, so trying to split, you know, and do a little cheeky play off by himself. Unfortunately, does cost him his life. So he's going to get the flush on McCoy, and it's just going to be Aguila here by himself now against 3 members of Athletico. Nate is there, going to force him to reposition, move up close into his smokes. Ferox, though, they are getting a little, you know, and they're investigating a little bit what's going on over here. In Athletico, they're stuck. The second they try to come up out of this, they are also going to get shot at by Oath. So this is just a tough situation for all the teams inside of the Bendita crater right now.
And you're looking at Ferox also been peeking over, trying to get some kind of third-party action, trying to pick up a couple knocks, a couple kill steals. And yeah, Radiance and Athletico really jammed up here. And there it goes, Athletico. Oh, he takes some shots, but he goes down to play zone. But Aguila does get the flush and able to confirm the kill. Ferox as well, shooting down on Nick. And Zoid returns to Aguila. So this is a fight to the end for both teams. And I believe that's it. Both teams are going out right there.
Yeah, Zoid's going to be the last one. Yeah, Zoid's going to be the last one, but Ferox, they're not going to let him out of that ridge up. It's going to be Grumps coming up and getting the final elimination there. At the same time, though, we did see Meta go out on the south side, kind of getting pinched out between Duel and Oath, as they, I mean, really no place for them to try to go, trying to just play the low ground coming in through that part of the field. Just unfortunate situation from them. And after, excuse me, all said and done, Zenith still hanging out 2-man over on the west side of the zone, and it looks like they are opting to go for the swing into the compound here. The wall of the compound is still inside of the next zone. It's going to be Oldless trying to catch Lampalot off guard. Nate is going to go in, see if it's going to connect onto him after he is fairly low. Not going to be close enough, but yeah, Zenith wanting to get aggressive. The second nade is going to get the knock, though, so now down to a 2v1 after Shuru decides to come over and support his teammates a little bit close up and personal. Just going to be Cherry Poppins left inside the compound.
And here comes the push from Zenith, realizing there's still only one left for Cherry before the zone comes in, and they're going to try and flush him out as he's going to have to move out of this small little building here any second now. Oath setting up, getting in a position to fight Ferox here with an even 4v4 coming in. We got 2 teams of 4, and Zenith remaining with 2, Oldest and Shuru. Here comes one of the final fights of today's game 2 between Ferox and Oath. Shimboy at the crate, restocking his armor, restocking some guns and stuff, and here we go. Yeah, it's just looking like Ferox is going to control that north side, and Oath's going to control the south with Shuru and Kobe and some snakes. Yeah, just a full 4v4 fight here, breaking out in the in-game with Shuru and Oldless just hanging out. Very good props to Shuru and Oldless, though, and the rest of Zenith. They were in, like you said earlier, an incredibly tough position the early parts of this game, but now they're getting active. They're going to come over in third-party Oath. Oldless does get trade knocked, but they do get one member down there and flushed for Oath. So now down to a 3v4 between the two teams over on the east side of the zone. So not turtling up too much, still trying to be aggressive in the in-game, even though they are only a duo. They are going to pick up another kill for themselves. As Ferox now going to try to, you know, sweep and clear maybe a little bit more. They are inside the zone. They don't necessarily have to do anything too crazy. But Wolf, he's in a tough spot, using smokes just behind a small ridge to try to cover for himself. Up close and personal, Grumps does hit him with the headshot down to 20 HP. He's going to have to use a first aid, but Shinboy going to get the knock and another knock as Cozy goes down to the zone out by the edge, influenced by Shuru, and Shuru is actually going to pick that one up before he does bleed out. So very important situation to where keeping track of the body counts and knocks is very important at this stage in the game for these two, or for all 3 of these teams, as they're going to try to close this one out. Wolf not spawning Sweet Sour out over there, but it's going to be Grumps stepping up over the top and getting the knock on him as he was trying to go for a reposition and a little bit of a side angle play. Grumps does get knocked by Shuru, though, flushed by Sweet Soul. And we're just going to look. These guys are just third-partying everything from this hill. I will say, I was just going to say, Shuru and Oldest being real thorns in the sides of both of these teams. Both of these teams setting up for a 4v4 even fight. And here comes Shuru and Oldest just third-partying the hell out of these guys, not letting them get comfortable, not letting them get engaged into this fight, and just picking off where they can. And now we're seeing a 2-2-3 instead of a 4-4-2.
Yeah, so these guys being active, doing everything. Relo's going to get the knock onto Olderso, so now it's just going to be Shuru. He's also going to spot out where Shuru was sneaking down the hill at. So now down to just a one member left alive for Zenith. Still at this point, though, it is anybody's game. Anybody can kind of close this one out. Sweet Soul on the side angle over here, just making sure nobody's swinging around over on the west side of the zone. Just making sure, playing it safe. He might be able to step up over the top of the ridge here. He spots out Shuru, laying prone right in front of him. Finally does recognize it. And that is going to be Sweet Soul getting the elimination on the final member of Zenith. Props to them, though, getting all the way up to third place. I think they were at 12 kills as well. So great game closing out for them. But Relo and Shinboy, two capable players, still not going to give this one over to Ferox just yet. But they do have what will be the center for Phase 9, as well as a 3-man team against 2-man. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Relo and Shinboy can do here in the closing seconds of this game.
And you can see Ferox finally getting rid of the thorn in their side there and able to take this fight appropriately. 3v2, the numbers are on their side. Smokes are out right now. Looks like neither team exactly electing to get that center position at the moment, where Shinboy and Relo are staying more south, and the other guys are slowly approaching, slowly making their way in, smelling blood. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see what these players do. There's some utility coming out, and they're going to make a man strong push. Here we go.
Oh, Grumps on the side angle gets his head blown off by the combined shots of Shinboy and Relo. So now down to a 2v2. Relo is low. He is going to need to use a first aid before they move any closer. But Ferox does have the positional advantage. Shinboy and Relo, they are going to have to come up over the top of this ridge hill. Flashbangs galore coming out up over the top. And it's what? Going to be quick. Each one of them. Oh my gosh, excuse me. Pick one person to shoot at and just blast both of them as they come up over the top of the hill. And Oath, just like that, closes out the 2v3 with the massive in-game there, securing first place with 10 kills. Absolutely nuts coming out by them. My goodness. Ferox, though, got to give them credit. Second place, 5 kills. And then third place, Oldest and Shuru. Big in-game performance from them, coming out with 12 kills total for Zenith. But my God, that in-game, holy cow.
Talking points
yeah.
Here. I mean, you're looking at how Relo and Shinboy are able to stay up there. The communication is so essence. Knowing that solo is over to the right, that they could push up with 2-man, take care of that so they can refocus their strategy on the other two. And then if you look at Zenith, incredible display of just fighting through the adversity. I mean, they really had nowhere to go with Wildcard and shoot to kill on them and dual firing in. They come out of nowhere. They make some plays and some solid rotations, and then out of, you see there's 11 teams up with them nowhere to go, and now they're in a top 3 with 12 kills to their name. So incredible performance from Zenith as well.
Yeah, absolutely incredible coming out. Yeah. Like I said, whenever they were driving into that kind of low ground bowl area to come up on the ridge next to shoot to kill, it's like, oh, these guys are going to die. But yeah, absolutely incredible performance from them coming out in the end game there. But I think that's going to wrap up game 2. We are going to throw it over to a short intermission, I believe, for game 3. Maybe try to get a few stats to talk about before we start up the next one. But myself, Famosity, and the man, the myth, the legend, 303 Apple is coming at you guys for the first day of Royale number 2 Americas for the 303 League. So greatly appreciate you guys stopping by and dealing with all, the technical difficulties we've had today, but we'll be back ready to go strong for the next game.
Alrighty, folks, we're coming back and we're gonna glance briefly at this leaderboard with Athletico sitting in first place overall, 25 points, 12 kills. Coming down to Oath Gaming in second place, 21 kills, and Zenith, 20 points, third place. So really tight, as you can see. 4th through 9th is jammed up. We're gonna have to wait and see how this leaderboard kind of make do. And then looking at the statistics, if you type in exclamation point stats, you'll be able to be redirected to a statistic page. Sparking is our current overall damage dealer leader at 1171, with Alo close behind at 1089 and Silers 977. For your kill leaders, we have Zoidmate with 8 kills, Shuru and Oldlist tied at 7. So don't forget, not necessarily for the season, but for the finals, the grand finals, we will be giving a $100 prize to the grand total kill leader of the grand finals. So what do you think of this leaderboard at the moment, Famacity? Things are about to kind of shake up.
Yeah, it's looking good, only 2 games in still, but we do see, the teams that have been putting up the frag numbers, our top 5 are all teams that have 10 plus kills. And everybody below them.
Mic check, sir. Famacity, mic check.
Oh, hello, mic check 1 2. Hello, mic check 1 2. I was talking on stream, but I didn't unmute myself for Discord for you, so they got a little bit of my point. But I was saying, all the teams in the top 5 have double-digit kills at this point in the game, and everybody below them kind of don't. So we do see the teams that are fragging are going to be the teams that are, going to be hovering up there on top of the leaderboard. But now into the game, we do see a nice, just right down the middle almost playing path here for Sandhawks. The team's going to be stretching out left and right to get to where they want to go. Let me press some quick buttons here. Get into PUBG so that you guys can actually see. There we go. There's the nice and ever beautiful team icons for you guys to be able to check out. But yeah, everybody going around.
First look at Sandhawk.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen teams in all these different regions kind of get together and drop. Looks like 303 is kind of free on the north side. You have Wildcard taking the hot 10-ish area, with Tigleton stretching really far to the center. Obviously, Team Ferox sitting out on the west coast. Camp Alpha, I believe. Got Ruins with Red Canids, Camp Charlie down south with Singularity. We will say we got some action down kind of south with Radiance there. Radiance and Oath maybe having the same drop spots-ish, and you saw that Oath was going straight down, and they had to redirect their shoots and their attention as to not hot drop in that moment. Yeah, I mean, things are starting to pan out at the moment.
Yeah, honestly, a little interesting and kind of atypical drops coming out from some of these teams. The Red Canids, I mean, if they got this much of the southwestern island for free, and then also sending one over towards the northwest island, it's going to be Kildemo up here. I think that's how you say his name. He's going to be up there. Should be able to just loot and then regroup with his teammates. But yeah, super crazy to see some of these drops. Radiance with a very left east to west split, with Nerf way over on to the west on the southwestern island, other teammates over there. Oath forced to switch over, but Meta as well.
Take a look at Meta. I was just gonna say,
Meta
out there floating in between Team Bliss there, kind of splitting their split.
Yeah, that's just getting out from under the earth there. Yeah, he just really wanted that triple warehouse compound, I guess.
So the loot's all there. I'm going there. I don't care what you guys do, and that's that. Looking at Red Canids down, they have a really good control here at this island, but being so split, I mean, to me, that's a difficult challenge to overcome. I mean, you get pulled up on 2-3 guys. That's a very hard fight to take, but it seems like they're all going to start consolidating down south, more towards the center of the zone right now. As you see, Kill Demo coming across the bridge, Rusty moving past Ruins, and it looks like they're all going to center back up on and 1. We do have Nerf approaching Singularity. They are right on each other. What's going to happen here? Nerf approaching, not silent crashing, doesn't believe someone's here maybe, or maybe he knows. The way he's operating, he knows someone's here.
I think, yeah. I don't know what information led him to believe. Oh, the door on the side shack there is open as he was pulled up to his left. So he has the idea that someone's here. Oh, almost gets the turn on to Kodiak there, and that is going to be Nerf, unfortunately, going down early, as the rest of Singularity is going to be regrouping. But yeah, the door there on the side shack is what gave it away. But Caden, vehicle explosion, as they are a four-man pulling into the compound. No, not full vehicle explosion, but he is knocking himself, pulling into this compound here. 2 members down for Livid, as they were trying to make a quick early rotation to what would be a very favorable position here inside of the southwestern island. This specific building is very strong. It's going to be Red Canids getting a lot of pressure, a lot of knocks, a lot of damage. That is going to be Stoop going down, so it's just going to be High Sense Warlord, and just like that, yeah, Rusty Zera from the northwest there off in the distance is going to get the headshots and elimination onto them. So, hey, I can't blame Livid for wanting to prioritize coming into this compound and, you know, going super early like that, you know, just 4-man send, crash, make it happen, grab it when you can. But Red Canids there, set up early just like them, able to clean them up.
Sanhok is known for its early fights, and we were able to see one there, right there, as Livid tried to get their positioning secured, but Red Canids able to play spoiler. Singularity and Red Canids also kind of making setting up shop as neighbors here, and then Venerated coming in onto the east side with his team. We do have some teams electing to rotate a little bit late. Maybe they realized why not just loot up and come in and play edge. As most of these teams probably already have a good centralized location in the circle. SDK just hanging out outside of boot camp at the moment with looks like Jumbi is starting to consolidate all together so they can move in on the east side. But you look at that north circle, that northwest island, nobody's coming in on it. And here comes 303's rotate as they come through the northwest island, and they should set up shop somewhere on that north end of the circle. Athletico really taking their time, as well as Zenith. I mean, looting in the blue. We'd love to see it, especially in competitive PUBG, and they're doing their thing playing late as well. So a lot of teams electing to play late here instead of vying for a center position.
Yep. So this zone here with this southwestern island, it's really going to shape up kind of in two different areas. It's going to end roughly, you know, kind of around the ruins where we see Wildcard and Duel, or it's going to shape up more towards the south part of the island where we see Singularity and the Red Canids also getting, you know, involved a little bit more here in the early game. And the Red Canids, this is a pretty good split, I would say, but it is definitely can be kind of troublesome, especially with how close Singularity is kind of setting up shop to them. But it looks like very honestly a little interesting to see Singularity kind of favoring more down towards the Nakam area with this ridge and these buildings. Maybe they just needed a little extra loot, so they're trying to get what they can. Usually I think favoring the hill just up towards the east might be a little bit area more this compound, just because you can play around those ridges. But nonetheless, you know, quit critiquing them a little too harshly, I guess, so no one says anything about me being a hater. I don't know.
Hey, but what announcers do best. They don't really play the game. They play it amateurly, and they critique all the faults of the professionals. So, you know,
exactly.
That's what we're supposed to be doing here.
Meta was throwing some shots at Athletico as they're trying to rotate around. We see quite a few teams trying to come around over here on this south part of the map to come across the bridge. Oath does make it across first. Athletico is going to be, oh my goodness, they're going to have two members driving, you know, right towards where Meta currently is at. So might see some blue zone shenanigans happening over here on this east side of the zone by the cave.
Yeah, I must say, what do you think of this red split? I mean, the 2-2, I believe both compounds are visible to each other. And, you know, I mean, I think that's as strong as a 2-2 split as you can get there.
Yeah, I think it's good. It's basically, you know, you're just there to hold territory and, you know, do what you can and make sure no one crashes on you. Looks like Oldless going to get taken out by Critsum here. So he's going to go down as Zenith trying to rotate in there in the blue. I think it's a good split. Definitely, like you said, two compounds can see each other. But it can be very tough just because the surrounding hillsides of those two compounds, if you get knocked from it, a full team can just push down into you. And there's nothing that, you know, your teammates can do to kind of support you very much, unfortunately. But nonetheless, Shuru here trying to hold what he can. Mystery does get the knock on to Sparking there.
Look at Oath. Look at Oath. They're creeping now. They were outside the blue. They made it in, and they said, no, we're going to jet back. Maybe they don't know it's 3 teams. Maybe they only think it's 2 teams possibly going at it. But especially Zenith, they just cannot get comfortable in today's games. I mean, they're performing really well, but all these teams really giving a hold on them if that. So we'll see if they can come out of these fights alive.
Yeah, we do see Flood's going to get taken down from Rello as he tries to approach the bridge here. So, yeah, Oath getting involved, just coming to the other side of the bridge. Not going to be letting anybody come across. They're going to go down. But Mystery does go down to Ragnar. Where is that? Ragnar. And Shuru is going to get traded as well. So it's just going to be...
too, pushing over as well.
Yeah, Mike.
It's going to be a fiesta over there.
Just going to be absolutely crazy. Athletico losing members as well. What is this? Sizzlin's over here. Nick inside or just outside the shack, and that's going to be him getting knocked. So I think Atletico is just down to one member. It was whoever made it across Extreme trying to go into Painan when there's a bunch of teams. Yeah, except there's going to be 2 teams waiting for him in there already. So we'll shift away from those, few solos that are left alive. And Extreme just running right up to it. Just 2 separate teams turning and looking and just blasting him away. Unfortunate. Atletico, Zenith goes out as well. Atletico goes out just before them. Jumbi comes into the building, and Alo just going to be holding the angle there, is going to get the elimination on to him. So yeah, just like it's a few teams losing out early or going out early here in the early rotations, trying to make their way in, but got a fight coming out here in between Painan, between Bliss and Shoot to Kill.
And as well with Painan, we're also seeing a heavy fight with Radiance and American Dragon too. Lots of action going on back and forth between all these teams. We have multiple members knocked in American Dragon. Got someone knocked on SDK at the moment, so these teams doing their best to deal with that, and the third party should be coming in after hearing all of this action. You have H-Win already looking that way. Looks like, where's the rest of Soniqs? Were they taken out early, huh? I don't see them.
Yeah, it looks like
they've gone down early.
Yeah, they probably just pulled up somewhere in a similar fashion that Livid did and just lost their members, unfortunately, just down to H-Win. But yeah, tons of action here early. A little bit, we see tons of action early on Sandhawk, but, in particular today, like you said, this is the first time we've kind of seen it with these teams. So, that just adds another, element to the chaos of what Sandhawk is, and just tons of fights early. Team Bliss looking like they are trying to disengage and kind of rotate in front of Shoot to Kill inside of Painan here. Edge is currently in a spot inside the zone where he's able to overwatch the buildings very good. So his 2 teammates just creeping along the river trying to regroup. But Alo swinging around, going to catch Textil as he's trying to go under the bridge. Going to go ahead and secure that one as well. So now down to a 2v2 critical motion, throwing some shots in return. And the fight is just never ending here on Sandhawk between any of these teams.
Never ending indeed. And we cut away from that fight, and we're looking at the Radiance and Oath. They're going at it with Venerated American Dragon kind of peeling down and third partying that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it seems like on Sandhawk, the third parties turn into fourth parties and fifth parties and sixth parties with all these teams getting involved. Meta making that southern rotate. And right now, all we have is McCoy up on Radiance, trying to do his best to hold off. We got Shimboy knocked, 3 up from one team, 1 from the other. Batty's knocked in the blue right now, waiting for his teammate, giving information.
Oh man, yeah, that nade taking him down super low. Oh, and just before the zone tick down to 1 HP, Relo's going to get a shot in there to secure that one. So a nice extra point picked up for Oath here in the early game. Should be able to get the res on to Shinboy as well. Oh man, just yeah, like you said, tons of fighting just one after the other. Phase 3 predictably did come off the water in center right where the red Canids are. Canids are at. They are holding their 2-2 split strong. Looks like FPS did, or Andy FPS did just pick up a crate there. So let's real quick in with him, see exactly what he got. An AUG?
What's he rocking? Yeah, looks like it.
No, oh no, he's still running M4 in QBU. So looks like he just took the gear. Leaving.
Maybe it was a DBS.
Was it a DBS? Hey, if it's a DBS and he didn't pick it up, I'm mad. Oh, it was an AUM. He left an AUM. Wow.
A little bit confusing there, but hey, I mean, to each his own, right?
Yeah, he might not be a bolter. It might be like, hey man, you can run over there and try to get that. I don't want to pick that up.
I'm good on that. And we're looking at Oath. Props to them with the multiple different fights they've taken. They remain 4 alive there. We have Alo knocked, and Uncivil is going to be getting the res. So that's going to be 2 up on Bliss and 2 up on SDK after all that Painan fighting. H-Win kind of just snaking out in the center-ish, and Meta making their way in. So all these teams just kind of finessing their ways around. On the west side, you have D-Rich and 303 trying to sneak in. It looks like they're going to be taking over Tambang for the moment, excuse me. And Ferox is going to be holding down those compounds. Everyone's just kind of in a hold, wait and see where the circle's going to shift and what these teams do around each other.
Yeah, very interesting to see 303 kind of go more towards the west side of the map. I think it would have been a little bit easier for them to kind of work their way center coming in from the north side. But, who knows? Maybe they'll just frag out everybody in front of them and pick up 20 kills. And, I'll be like, hey, okay, it is what it is. You guys making it happen. But, yeah, down on the south side, Meta and Oath are kind of sharing this big ridge that kind of stretches east to west here potentially going to be staring at each other here as Ragnar, he's up on top. I don't think he's spotted them out just yet using what cover he can. Oh, he does spot one, so these two teams are aware of each other's presence. And just like that, I believe shoot to kill, trying to pull up near the big rock structure where American Dragons were at. They are going to get taken out just off screen there. So shoot to kill, their early game shenanigans do not favor them. Unfortunately, they're going to go out in 12th place here in this game.
I find it interesting with Red Canids how and won. I mean, he did have to go get the crate, and he continued moving to his team, kind of leaving Fiska, if I say that correctly, kind of leaving him out to dry there. I mean, yeah, we all know the circle is going to more than likely shift around that compound, but I just don't understand why Fiska wouldn't move as well. So Singularity, seeing the kill, they're looking to pounce in to gain that center control.
Yeah, and paying the price for it. He is going to be there by himself, does get knocked, but big reposition coming out from Oath. They're going to grab some vehicles and basically just drive straight into the zone, going to grab this shack area. Now they're going to be focusing over towards American Dragons out towards the east.
Pentalol able to get a knock and flush on Ferox, and Penta again, a knock on Grump. So
another one, yeah.
303 is banging up Ferox at the moment. 2 down for Ferox with the flush as well from Penta. It's 2 kills from him. And we have Nikos and Sweet Soul trying to reconsolidate and see what they could do, especially with Wildcard sitting right there, just kind of awaiting. So we'll see how 303 gets into this circle. They're going to have to deal with Singularity on their east, but at the same, or towards their south, but at the same time, Singularity might be getting involved with meta right here. So a lot of different things can be happening as you look to move in.
Yeah, great reposition, catching Ferox there off guard. They're gonna get two opening kills that allow D-Rich and Sizzler to rotate in the hill in front of them where they're gonna want to try to play. But Penta, Singularity being spoiler, just long range shots as he was trying to run down that hill to regroup with Sophia, is gonna get knocked there. So a little bit of a trade back, and the D-Rich and Sizzler are gonna get spotted out there at the gazebo at the top of the hill. But yeah, I kind of imagine Singularity is probably gonna try to push over towards the east, maybe get involved with meta as this game's shaping up to be, you know, ending a little bit more towards the northeast part of the map, so it'll probably be a little bit more favorable for them, I reckon, to go over there. But meta is going to send Sizzling down in the compound, as well as Kodiak's pulling in with the vehicle, so they're going to be up close and personal as he vaults in. They're going to be fighting each other right there, and it is going to be Sizzling getting the knock, so that is going to open it up for the rest of meta to regroup around him. And at Singularity now is going to be a little bit on the back foot, but are they sending another person into the compound? Yes, they are.
Wow, big crash here indeed, and Red Canids just firing down on both of these teams right now, and anything that moves. 303 taken down. Sweet Soul from Ferox there, D-Rich taking that, and man, some action all around. Silers with the flush and finish. Ragnar is just going to be holding into this shack at the moment. Lots of things happening all over the circle. Red Canids still plowing down on these teams. Oath able to sneak in a shot there right through the window to catch Ragnar there. But yeah, I mean, it's all starting to shape up.
We just barely missed, but Pame here actually tried to full send his bike through the door and just barely missed it as someone was standing there spraying at him. But they're going to regroup, reposition the bike so that they can actually come in the building, and they're going to try to get the kill here. Peeking through the door. There is the bike. Flashbang not going to connect as it landed just outside the door, but here comes the push. Going to get the quick knock there is going to be Pame, so it's just going to be one member left alive for Meta Gaming. That's going to be Crits down on the hill, but just like that as well, 303 coming up huge, winning the fight over on the west side, down to just left. Sizzler left, though, against Ferox in the zone and not favoring him.
The solo from Ferox did indeed do some damage. They got 2 of 303. Silers is able to at least not take the squad wipe and stay up, but definitely destroying 303's chances here. And then on the east side, you have Oath and Venerated getting into it, with Rello flushing Venerated, and it seems like Bliss is going to be moving in on American Dragon.
Yeah, Vegas got to be careful. The final member there left for American Dragons up on the north side. As soon as I said it, he is going to get spotted out there by Critical Emotion. And Wolf, I was about to say as well, might be able to spot out the final member from Meta coming across the street. He does. So that's going to be 2 teams, 2 solos taken out very quickly. Down to 8 teams, 22 alive now. And Oath, 8 kills after their very eventful game so far, and still 4 alive, in a very good position to still be potentially able to close this game out.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we see, the placement points will begin with 303 going out in 8th place, picking up 1 point. H-Win, or Win, however you want to say it. Really surprised here. He's been a solo from pretty much this phase 1, from very right off the bat, and he's managed to secure this compound here that is pretty much going to be centered Really surprised is excellent snaking play and able to get those placement points and positioning for Soniqs here. But looking down on the south, right Canids and Singularity dueling it out right here. We see the knock coming in from man one. Again, Kill Demo is going to try and hold it down here the best he can. There's the trade. Demo is going to be able to get quick, and there goes Napoleon as well.
Oh, wow.
Going to be up to Pomian, no go. It is all over there for Singularity going out in 7th place. Red Canids with 2 up.
Yeah, cleaned that up very quickly on the retrades, even though they did suffer the first knock and flush. Kill Demo able to get the quick shots on his left and then the other shots on his right. I didn't see who knocked the first player on the same rock as him. But nonetheless, you know, Red Canids, they're able to get that trade, able to get that squad wipe, put them, what I believe, up to 8 kills here, closing it out down to 6 teams, as this zone very unfavorable to the teams on the south side of the zone all the way up to the north. HWin still snaking it alive. Like you said, he's going to find himself maybe a different rock or a different bush to kind of huddle between. Oh, look at this rock. That's a rock right there if I've ever seen a cluster of rocks to be hanging out in. So he's going to be hanging out there. Wildcard and Duel, both 4-man strong, kind of just been hanging out on this northwestern side of the zone. Don't think they've had too much going on for them, but they are have a strong foothold here in the in-game.
And as you can see, Wooly putting out the calling shots, trying to get some response. And there breaks out a fight. Oath and Bliss getting into it. And I do have to point out, Red Canids, shout out to them. 0 points coming into this game, really turning it around. Incredible.
Yeah, and so Bliss here in the 2v4, they do get the opening. Nade's going to do a little bit of damage. Underhand nade right up over the top is going to potentially do some damage there. Don't think it made it up over to the top of the hill. Critical motion is going to be holding so that Edge can use first aid. Flashbang is going to blind him, though. Shinboy is going to be pushing up close and personal. They did get the res on Snakers, but he does go down right after, so going to deny the kill point potentially. Edge goes down. Wolf gets spotted. Critical motion, the final member left alive for Bliss, going to use a first aid as the Blues getting ready to touch him on his backside. Decides to turn around. Now he's going to try to run down the hill. Here he is in the motion. Hopefully Wooly doesn't spot him from that window.
Incredible awareness to get that res and deny that kill point. Absolutely amazing play there by Rello. And Wolf with the call that we have to leave immediately and be pushing down more towards south, running into Red Canids 2-man at the moment. Wildcard still sitting pretty as they rotate down south from the ruins position that they had with the blue. They're going to be running into Red Canids and Oath if they continue their way, so we're about to see a huge fight coming in here.
Yeah, about to be sandwiched between 2 teams, the Red Canids are, as Oath is right in front of them. He's going to find one, get traded by the second, and that is going to be him flushed out. Kill Demo, you're going to use a first aid, now stuck in the blue. Probably just try to deny here as 2 teams are coming around him. That is going to be the case. Sharp Shot, they're going to be the lead man here for Wildcard as they're starting to step up over the top. He is going to spot Shinboy. Rello is going to get spotted as well, but Shinboy down to 1 HP. That is going to be Kickstart getting the knock on the Rello, and Shinboy is just turning around, running away, going to see if he can go share some rock space with HWin over here, maybe.
HWin's got to hear that audio right now.
Yeah.
Sitting in the rock crevices here. The smokes are out.
Oh, great molly.
Sharp. Wow. Incredible molly on Shinboy. Finds him right on.
Yeah. Whiffs the nade, hits the molly right on the tree, and that's going to be Oath going out in 4th place. Props to them, though, picking up a great chunk of kills. Still going to be up there in the leaderboard standings as Tiggleton. Let's see
man,
here.
He's getting close.
I know. Does he find HWin?
HWin holding here patiently. Tiggleton moving, has no idea HWin's sitting there. Kick also doing the flank. HWin might have caught audio cues from him as well. He does, and he gets kicked. And
oh my goodness.
Now Tig knows where his enemy is, but he's tanking blue, and he will be denying the kill point there.
And just like that.
Another denial.
Yep.
Just like that. Duel. Man, I'll tell you, they had center compound. They sat pretty for most of the game. 4-kill win. Incredible stuff.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Hey,
that's stuff we like to see. That's
absolutely.
Rotates.
But you know, those types of situations, those are the games you have to win. Like, you know, if you get fed like that, you have to play it smart. You can't just, you know, throw a body away here. They're trying to, you know, reach out of your compound to pick up 1 or 2 extra points. Cause, you know, yeah, they only had 4 kills, but, you know, in essence with that win, they got, you know, obviously it's 10 points for the win, you know, but that's 10 extra points that they maybe couldn't have got if they got second. You know, you have to make sure if you're in those situations conditions that you do close out those games, and they do. 4 kills with the first place, 14 points. That's better than 4 kills and no placement points. Obviously, H-Win though almost pulling it out, gets 2 kills for himself, second place after the disastrous phase 1 rotation, whatever happened there for the Soniqs, and then Wildcard as well. Only 3 kills for them, but the third place able to close it out into the end game there. A very quiet game from them, just based off of how the zone shifts and where they were positioned. But Oath in 4th place, still picking up 10 kills. So these guys are absolutely fragging it out so far in the first 3 games today.
Yeah, it seems like the main game plan for a lot of these teams is take Sandhawk and just go and frag out and push teams. That's what we saw. We saw a lot of 3rd, 4th, 5th partying, and you see a lot of these teams that went out early. You have number 9 position of Meta taking 7 kills. You have 303 with 4 kills going out early. Another 4 from Singularity. 8 from Red Canids, and all those teams placed outside the top 5. So you see a really aggressive mindset from these teams. Yeah,
you'd love to see it. Shoot a kill as well down there in 12th with 4 kills. Man, I love the Sandhawk action. I wish we could get more than 1 game a day, but that's not how it works, unfortunately. We are going to be switching over to Erangel for the final 3 games of the day. So that's the first 3 in the books, guys. My name is Famosity with the man, the myth, the legend, Apples from 303, bringing you the sweet and spicy commentary action of the first day for your North American or America's Pro Division for the 303 Royale number 2. But we are going to throw it over to a short break, guys. We'll get ready for the next game before switching over to Erangel. Thank you guys all for stopping by. We greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next one.
Alrighty, folks, we are coming back at you with my personal favorite. I love seeing the Erangel 2.0 games. I love seeing all the wonky new shifts that this map makes. I love seeing the new improvements. And I do have to say thank you all, the viewers, for hanging out with us, getting through the game one technical difficulties. Famacity came in and saved the day with the observing capabilities. No FPS drops, no lag stutters for him. He's doing a great job here casting alongside with me. I do want to say normal 303 production will be coming in tomorrow. We had some mishaps. Dave was sick. Esquire and Seals, both of their internets went out in crazy storms in their respective areas today. So we are just, me and Famacity, kind of making do with what we got. And tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, the European region will be live on the 303 Esports channel. Same place. It's not same place, same time. You will see a map stream on my stream, 303 Apples. And I can tell you, I've seen some of the previews of what this production is going to look like. It's absolutely incredible. I wouldn't put my money where my mouth is. This stuff is amazing. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Or if you're just an Americas fan, tune in next week, Saturday, on the 303 Esports channel. We'll make sure all the production's good to go with the casters and the comms and the interviews and all the good stuff. But for now, we're going to jump into Game 4, Erangel 2.0. Kind of a center west plane path. Famacity, what do you got for me? Talk to me.
Hey, you know, it's going to be another easy plane drop, hopefully, for a lot of these teams, like how Game 2 and then Game 3 was for Sandhawk. I'm interested to see exactly where all the teams want to go. I'd imagine, you know, all these teams are very capable, very good, and, you know, knowledgeable players about the game. Probably not going to see any hot drops. We might see some areas of the map, you know, being shared or contested once again. But I imagine we don't see anything too crazy here. But yeah, like you said, Erangel 2.0, absolutely love it. Erangel, you know, 1 was a great map. You know, everybody loved it as well. But all of the new features and everything that's been added to this map just makes it that much better and that much more incredible. So I'm always, you know, I think it's slowly becoming the norm here for most of the competitive PUBG, you know, leagues and games and scrims or whatever you want to throw into that category to have Erangel 2.0. And I love it. I think it's a great map, and they did great things with it.
Absolutely. It was much needed, I'll tell you. I mean, this is the baby that PUBG was built on. This is the map. When everyone thinks PUBG, you think of this map. And, you know, we all argue in PUGs how we want to get Erangel, but we haven't queued up for it in 15 matches because we keep getting Karakin and Sandhawk. This is the map that everybody loves to see. Everyone's strats are perfected. And we will see, especially with PGS and all PUBG official events are now implementing 2.0 Erangel, and they have removed classic Erangel. So we will have to see how these teams learn and adjust the new map, as you know, it takes thousands of hours to really understand the maps, the divots, where you can play and all that stuff. So we'll see how these teams adjust. But early action, looking at this, we do have pretty simplistic drops right now. Yeah, Athletico and Ferox. What's up with that? Over on the Yasnaya Bridge. Looks like an early fight. We don't see them too much in Erangel, and we're kind of possibly seeing them all over the map here in North George, Yasnaya. We have teams dropping on each other in Millie. 303 and Radiance are kind of close. So pretty interesting drop locations.
Yeah, so look at what?
I was going to say, look at Red Canids, like how much of a split that is. I don't understand it, but touche to their drops.
There's 3. Oh, and then 1. Rusty's over there. There's their hard sport vehicle spawn right next to that compound. So just securing an extra vehicle, and that compound's not too bad. It has a garage building and then a 3 stack and then an extra building. So you do get okay loot from there, but mainly it's just the hard spawn. Just because sometimes North George can be kind of rough for getting vehicles, especially since they're sharing it with another team, is what I imagine was the mindset. But going on with that one there. But yeah, the if I get the icons on there so people can actually see who's who. Ferox and Athletico, obviously both teams just trying to go for those vehicle spawns. Ferox did have both players grab both of them, so Athletico just like, oh, we'll just 4-man drop the gas station, kill the one guy, and then they'll go loot what they can around the volcano area. But the zone did reveal itself, and it is going to be out towards the west here. Looks like we're going to be potentially shaping up for an Everest, Gatka field, you know, radio tower field, observatory type game. Very exciting part of the map. I really do love seeing zones kind of shape up over here. So we'll just have to see how it unfolds here for the rest of this game.
For sure. I mean, as things are definitely settling in, Kick's going to get into a little mayday there with Athletico. I don't think he realizes that there's so many around at the moment, especially Nick right outside of that compound. But looks like teams are kind of just securing their drop spots moving forward. I mean, this is only game one of Erangel, whereas we're going to have, I believe it's 18 games, 3 weeks of this group play before we move into the grand finals, Americas versus EU. So these teams are kind of just securing their spots with these other regions in play, not knowing where everybody goes. As you can see, an NA and OCE team, or excuse me, NA and SA team, both dropped in George. So teams are just kind of just feeling each other out, fixing it right now. Yeah, I mean, overall, pretty simple zone on the west side. Looks like 303 has that center control. Live it up north. Red Canid moving in a little bit early here. Teams kind of just taking their time on their rotations at the moment, as the north will also be free for SDK and possibly Ferox if they decide to sweep in.
Yeah, and actually here, Atletico, they came over to creep on to kickstart, but not going to just hold the vehicle and wait for him to hop in it and leave. Instead, they're just going to let him leave, hopefully try to grab some more loot for themselves. They did have a little bit of a scuffed drop here for game one, so not wanting to do anything too crazy with what they got for right now. As Kickstart and the rest of Wildcard are going to be rotating away. We do see Soniqs, almost said Genesis, Soniqs going to be rotating out of Pachinki, and then, yeah, Red Canid's going to be going down south of Everest as well. D-Rich looks like he's going to be vacating the South Chopsticks compound. Probably heard those vehicles pull up there for the Soniqs, and they are just going to go ahead and get the heck out of there, as they're going to be full sending it, I'm assuming, over towards the observatory off in the distance over on the hill.
Here we are with some, I believe, some M249 shots raining out. You do have Soniqs at the moment rotating through, and Duel as well, trying to possibly take up some real estate on Everest there. Soniqs splitting 303 right now, right through. We'll see if they continue to make their way over to the west coast, or if they kind of hold out north of Quarry, a little bit west of Gatka. All these teams just making their way in. Wildcard kind of following behind Singularity there. The east side's really empty at the moment, which is going to make it pretty easy for teams like Team Bliss and Athletico and Ferox to get in there and get set up. We do have a fight here breaking out between Red Canids and Duel. Let's tune in there on this little compound. Red Canids trying to hold it down. Duel getting pressure from Livid all over the place.
My goodness, my frames did take a dip as soon as I came over to look at this. But yeah, Cherry, he is going to be here. Going to spot out Kill Demo through the door there after suffering 2 knocks. Wooly is there with him. Going to go ahead and push up front and center. Going to catch Kill Demo as he's going up the stairs. So quickly traded here. Honestly, it looked like it was going more in the favor of the Red Canids right immediately on the crash. But they are going to be able to get the trades, as it was only 2 members over here. The other 2 not able to come and regroup quickly enough. So Duel, I think they just sent it into this compound. They're going to take it out, pick up 2 kills. They do lose 1. But they do get the res on to Michael, so they're going to be sitting pretty central zone here for phase 1. We'll see if if that crash was worth it, depending on how the zones shape up for the end game. But nonetheless, they do pick up 2 early points.
Now you see Red Canids off in the center of that field there. You have Duel shooting down on them, Soniqs looking over at them, and Livid as well. So, as long as they stay in the position they're in, kind of snaking, they should be okay. But any overextension of themselves might cost them. You do see Meta and 303 getting into it at the moment, as Sophia's taking pop shots over there. Quinn taking shots at Red Canid, and Duel receiving them from Red Canid. So all these teams kind of just settling in, getting prepared. American Dragon looting late in military, going to be coming across the bridge, hoping nobody's holding, which, I mean, we don't see it. We mainly see a giant center cluster. If you look at that, all the edge is kind of free for the moment.
Kickstart just got vehicle exploded by Wooly as he was trying to make his way through the field. Unfortunately, Wildcard is going to lose 1, and we do see Atletico wherever they may be. Still up here, over coming out of Yasnaya, still getting involved with Ferox. And I think Zoid might be he might be chasing them down. It looks like he's just going to grab an extra vehicle here. And then they're gonna loot, and then
driving side by side with Nikos and Grumps, almost as if they're a team caravan moving out. Looks like Grumps is doing kind of a little sweet seat swap there to try and get the knock on Flood, but it's not gonna happen. Flood's gonna reconsolidate with his team. They are still 4 up, so maybe Flood's gonna pick up Extreme and Zoid and move on into the circle. But Grumps posting up, trying to get that action. Blue fighting, we love to see it. Love to see early fights. Phase 1, great stuff.
Yeah, these guys are just still having the beef with each other after that drop, not wanting to let anything go just for free. Nico's is coming back. He's turning back around. The vehicles are going to be coming up the hill here in a second. Grump's now going to be driving away. See if he can pick one off as the players are getting ready to rotate up the hill. But it looks like they are finally going to go ahead and just turn around and start heading towards the zone.
I love the caution here from American Dragon. Like, it would make sense that somebody maybe posted up on the other side of this bridge and they're scouting it. They're doing the best they can to look over, but I mean, really, there's nothing there. And hopefully they're communicating that now to move across the bridge freely. We're looking at phase 2 coming in, a nice shift right off the water into the center, kind of centering up over the Gadka-ish. And yeah, we're going to be looking at a lot of congested red Canids knocked. Hopefully, nobody really around them to threaten, so the res should be pulled off, no problem. We actually North in Hospital. Looks like we have Soup contesting around with STK, Luke and Purdy on Civil, and Alo helping out from afar. Alo's going to be coming in to crash and help out here with High Sense Warlord. It seems like both teams are going to start consolidating to assist each other, but Soup with the 2-on-1 in the Hospital, it's not looking too good for him at the moment. Let's see how these teams play this.
Yeah, so I know both of these teams are not one to shy away from fighting or doing anything crazy, but I think this is probably a situation to where if I was Livid, I guess they really don't have too much, that they can, take very quickly in the zone in front of them. So that's why they're kind of, I guess, opting to go for, trying to support their teammate Soup, who is stuck in the hospital with 2 members here of Shoot to Kill. But yeah, definitely a tough situation for both of these teams as they're going to be delayed a little bit for the rotation. Caden actually gets knocked by Alo as he was peeking through the, I would assume just the window there of the garage building. So he's trying to get some more shots to potentially go for the flush. But yeah, just going to be a little bit of a standstill here between all of these teams and all these players as... I
will say, down south, while this was going on, Pentalol was holding a compound there where Radiance is at the moment, and McCoy, Batty Low came up really hard. Penta hopped in his car, jetted out of there, retreated back to the hill that D-Rich and Sophia are playing with that observatory tower. Siler's kind of stretching out more so towards the Soniqs end to gain information, but we did see that hard. We're taking this compound. There's not a damn thing you could do about it. Move there from Radiance. They came in and pushed them out, but yeah, all the teams starting to settle in. Still slow play up north in the hospital area between SDK and Livid. Caden got res, so they're kind of just slowly playing that as Atletico kind of circles in.
Yeah, Atletico slowly making their way in. Ferox coming across the George Pool Bridge as well right now. Zoid already up on top of Everest, going to be scouting everything out. Focusing his attention over towards, I believe he probably sees Alo. Yeah, Alo in Uncivil there on that hill, trying to get the tires with the, oh my gosh, and he does with this SKS on that Dacia. If I was Alo, I'd be incredibly tilted about getting my vehicle tires shot out like that. Great shots from Zoid though. SKS, not an easy gun to shoot at what, almost 600-700 meters there to be able to get those tires. I know I wouldn't be able to make that shot. I hate the SKS with a passion.
And I'm also reading some information in the good old beef chat in the 303 Discord. We see Kickstart apparently crashed. That's why he got his car blown up. So he was just sending it center zone straight through, rolling through, and DC'd, and Wooly took advantage of that opportunity. So shout out to Kickstart and Wooly there. We are looking though. Looks like Radiance firing shots on American Dragon. Lots of teams going back and forth. We see a huge congestion up north with both Oceana teams and Ferox and Atletico kind of coming in on the STK. The standstill is still real. You notice Luke and Super still in the same exact positions. Purdy's kind of backed off a little bit there, but that stalemate is in full effect. And we get a hard northwest zone shift hovering above Hospital and Gadka.
Yep, and the stalemate's just going to continue as that, yeah, like you said, zone hard shifting back up towards that area. So at this point, it's even more important, I think, for Hisense Warlord Fudge to just go ahead and regroup with Honey and Caden inside of the compound there, because that's a very strong compound here with how this zone and how this game is going to be shaping up. And you just cut your losses with Soup being stuck in the hospital, which is fine, Shoot to Kill has actually moved completely away, so there's no real pressure there, but still going to play it safe, not do anything crazy. Got the vehicle rotations coming in on the southwestern side. We got Radiance, American Dragons, and Bliss all going to be trying to occupy some territory over there. Looks like Uncivil did get knocked as he was trying to come down the hill. I believe it was to Flood. Smokes are there from Alo. I don't know if he knows that Nick is in the warehouse right next to him. So if he tries to go for that, he'll probably get shot up.
Yeah, not too much position to come in here as all 16 teams are alive as phase 3 moves in. I mean, this is what we expect from professional PUBG. We haven't seen it yet, but here on map 1 of Aaron Goal, map 4, excuse me, you know what I'm saying, game 4, we see all 16 teams still alive. Most of them with most of their players is only, what's that, 8 players are eliminated at the moment in the whole entire game. So see a lot of congestion up north, some teams trying to make it in west, and here's a huge fight down in the middle. We'll go possibly take a look at between Soniqs 303 and Radiance. 303 kind of splitting Radiance and Soniqs' pathway there. Not sure they knew where both teams were, but they're going to take that position as Silas kind of holds off before the crash.
Yeah, looks like they were just trying to find some type of foothold inside of the zone with all the teams that are rotating over here. Profi's going to get the opening onto Sophia, and Mime is being Mime. He's going to come up with all the utility, and that's going to be the elimination onto all of the members of 303 right there as they pulled up next to that shack. So 303 just unfortunately not able to find a foothold. Very tough with how many teams were trying to rotate in that edge of the zone. Batty trying to come over and get some shots down in on the Soniqs as well. Taking some pressure, is going to be forced to turn the round, but there's Silers is still alive back towards the south, kind of towards the observatory. I believe we did miss the red Canids going out as well, so they're going to be the first team taken out of the game here for your first game of Erangel. Alo finally going to get taken out inside of the compounds outside of Georgepool, as Shoot to Kill is now down to 2 members. Doesn't look like they were able to get the res on to Uncivil, who was knocked on the side of the hill. But after all is said and done, I think the calm before the next storm is potentially going to be happening here, as a few players did die. Soup is not who I wanted to click on. I wanted to click on this guy, Luke, as he was shooting at some people rotating away, but just missed it. Oh boy.
There we go. Phase 4 shift, kind of centered west a bit. We do have a lot of complications, especially as this is over a giant open field. So we'll see how these teams play at the moment. There are a couple dips you can play. You see a couple buildings and compounds that can be taken, but for the most part, that center zone is mostly filled with just shacks, hay barrels, and a big old field. So good luck to play there. Although I will say in 2.0, I believe this is one of the areas they adjusted to make more areas playable in this field. So hopefully we'll see how the teams react to the new situations they're placed in.
Yeah, a few more ridges, a few more dips that players can play in. And I actually like this play from Wolf. So I'm assuming the final 2 members of Red Canids got crashed by Oath here on top of the radio tower. And a lot of people don't realize that there's actually an extra bowl over here on the west side of this hill. So Wolf, instead of laying prone in one of the predictable bowls, up on I couldn't talk there for a second. Up on top by the radio tower, he retreats down into this one, and he is going to be chilling there pretty safe for honestly a good while. Pretty close to center, not probably going to have anybody come too close to him, I'd imagine. But yeah, everybody is good. Like you said, the field makes up a large portion of the center part of this zone, so you're going to see a lot of teams hugging edge until they're forced to take that dive bomb position down towards the center of the zone somewhere.
Look at Soup, man. In hospital, he has played the patient waiting game.
He hasn't moved.
And it worked out. He didn't move a single muscle while Luke and Purdy were in that building for pretty much this entire game, probably the past 12 minutes. And he hasn't moved. It pays off. They finally leave it be. They can't find the rat in hospital, and they're just going to move on from all that and kind of start to rotate west.
Yeah, he's been in that same room for like 12 minutes. He he played it patiently. If he's able to regroup with his teammates, or be instrumental in a team potentially pulling up around them and able to get us some knock and apply some pressure, it'll be good. It'll be all worth it. But yeah, Luke and Purdy, they do rotate out, going to grab the hill on the southwestern side. And as we take a quick look at the radio tower, we got Meta crashing up onto Singularity. It is traded 2-for-1 right now in the favor of Meta, as Kodiak and Pame are down. Nay going to go up over the tops. Ooh, that's a molly right next to the res coming out there, but got to be careful because Wildcard shooting Meta in the back is going to get crits him. It is just going to be potentially Ragnar here in just a second. Looks like Sparking was able to find a safe spot to lay prone. All of the utility is being thrown. It's like, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die with no utility, going up over the top there, trying to get some peaks. But the second he does, more shots coming in.
Absolutely, they're going out in a blaze of glory right now, sparking, throwing all the nades he can, trying to get the res here on the Chrysatem. Gonna be really difficult wild card on the back. This, for one, Singularity can't extend the kill meta right now, despite all the knocks. And meta can't really push it in advance. Wildcard really playing spoiler here, and Duel across the street as well if they become in a viewable range there. Are there any other fights going on? At the moment, it seems most teams are spread out. They're spaced out. Athletico did come in on the position of STK there on the north in the hospital. Soup still not moving in that position. Doesn't matter if there's 4-10. Who doesn't matter who's around him. He will remain in that position until they find him. But as you see, Wildcard really amping it back up. They see some opportunity here. The smoke's running out from both Meta and Singularity. So it's going to be difficult play here. We'll see how they move forward with it.
Yeah, Singularity losing another body, unfortunately. And we did see Soup did get found in the hospital. Unfortunate for him, not able to eventually regroup with his teammates. But taking a look here. So this radio tower is going to get very congested. Capitalizing is going to be Mime solo pushing up out of the swamp area, kind of towards the same dips where Wolf is going to be at. So he's got to be careful as he approaches forward. Critsum, though, is going to get vehicle exploded as Wildcard is trying to gain more territory. Ragnar trying to retreat up over the hill is going to get taken out as well. So we're just going to be sparking left alive and capitalizing and seeing the knocks in the kill feed. Singularity, very good play, is going to come up over and get the final elimination there. But now they got to regroup because Wildcard is going to be just behind Meta here in just a second.
You would think from Wildcard's positioning right now, they're calling out how banged up they are. They're tracking the knocks. They know that there's only 2 up from Singularity. And that is a really strong position to hold at the radio tower with all the different dips you can play from all different sides. I do have to note, Siler's playing all the way on the back south right now, trying to play spoiler, creeping in the Soniqs. So we'll see how that takes place. But lots of fights breaking out. Let's get into some of the action at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be Athletico crashing onto the compound here where Livid. So Livid loses Soup, but they do preemptively send Honey Badger just to the left on your screen there where Team Bliss was sent at the same time. So he got taken out as well. Or no, he's still alive. He got the kill onto Extreme. Hold on. Where is... They sent one member there, I know. Oh, they sent Fudge there. So Fudge dies, but now it's going to be Honey and Caden holding this compound here as Athletico is going to be crashing in. And here comes Shoot to Kill as well. Another team going to be joining the fight here. Caden up over the top gets obliterated by Purdy on the pull-up with the M249. And oh my gosh. And I got to say, the new...
see the 3 teams 2v2v2. Incredible fight.
M249 going to get the new and improved M2... Well, I don't know if I would say improved M249, but it's showing its presence here with the 150-round extended mag from Purdy as he's going to be breaching and clearing the garage building after him and Luke do crash. Here and off in the kill feed, though, just tons of action happening. Let's take a quick look over here in this field. Wolf gets the snake kill onto Mime. Out to the west, Radiance and American Dragons and Zenith are all in a 3-way fight here as they're trying to figure out how the heck they're going to survive over here on the west side of the zone. Radiance up close and personal with Zenith. McCoy gets knocked. It's just going to be Nerf left alive here as he's going to be swinging up close and personal with Olis very low. Going to be very treacherous. Roth gets flushed by Ferox, who's third-partying up to the north. Mystery's going to get spotted. They're trying to go for the flush, but American Dragons now are going to be getting involved as they're back to a 4-man and instead getting third-partied from the radio tower now. And it just is pandemonium and carnage happening over here on the west side of the zone. As now Ferox is coming over after getting the nade kills onto Zenith. And it is just going to be one team after the other joining the fray over here on the west side of the zone. Wolf gets found. That's going to be Oath going out in 12th place.
And so far, Zenith really getting in the mix, constantly dealing with 3 or 4 teams around them on any fight they have to take so far here at the 303 Royale. But Radiance, unfortunately, going out at 11th as Ferox moves up in that position, takes care of them, and American Dragon's going to look to make Ferox pay back. Looking at the rest of the field right now, you had a couple teams go out during all that madness. You still have Livid, SDK, and Athletico hanging out at the north end. Ferox is doing it out with American Dragon at the moment, trading out Balefrost and getting the flush on him. The 3 up from American Dragon with 2 from Ferox. Soniqs looking to maintain that, trying to get into the zone and eventually going to take that middle position. Team Bliss holding out strong there by the water tower, has nice ridges to protect themselves on all ends. So this team's really spread out. Singularity, we look at the Singularity wildcard skirmish that has been going on for a while. Props to them holding it down. Wildcard tries to make the push with all the utility. Tig's knocked. We're going to see Keenan get the res there. Big Thumer popping the res off, and we'll see how they move in on Singularity here with Duel out to their northeast.
Yeah, I was about to say, and you know, quietly hanging out again over on the east side is going to be Duel, but Profi coming in over here huge, just missed it. Unfortunately, going to get traded out by Nikos after getting the full squad wipe. Wow, onto all of the members of American Dragon there. So Soniqs, tough situation. They did have this kind of small dip ridge here that they were playing around, able to have Shrimzy still alive. Now into the placement points, 8 alive. Nade from Tiggleton gonna get the knock on to Quick there as he's going up over the top. Now gonna try to get the spray onto Palme, and it is going to be a 1v2. Stepping up close and personal, Palme's gonna get the trade. Big Thumer is there, not able to connect, but Palme's gonna get the double kill as it's gonna be Singularity still holding strong on a very tough position to hold the radio tower here in the middle of the field. But that opens it up for Duel to go ahead and make their push across the field. Great play by Palme there.
Gotta ask any SNGs in the chat. We know you're alive. We know the Nazo army is full and well here. And what a play by Palme, holding it down not only against that first team they were dealing with, but also against Wildcard. Duel makes their way. They smell blood. There's 3 of them to the 2 of Singularity. We'll see if Michael, and Wooly, Jerry, if they could push up on this ridge without being too noticed at the moment. I don't think Singularity notices that they've kind of rotated in from that compound they were holding. Over here, Sonic, Shrimzy, snaking at the moment, a solo against the 2 Ferox members. I believe Ferox knows that they're still around, still there. They look towards the north side of the circle. It looks like Honey Badger from Livid has maintained and came out of that entire skirmish. We weren't able to really view it with STK and Athletico, but Honey Badger is the one alive from that. Team Bliss still maintaining that center advantage. So a lot of teams spread out to see how things get taken. But there goes Singularity, Quick and Foamy. The 3-man push of Duel, just too much for them.
Yeah, able to creep up on the ridge there. Cherry's going to be the first member to challenge Poma, and he is going to go out. That's going to be Singularity going out in 6th place. But, hey, big props to them. Not an easy game up to this point for them, but they were able to hold it strong and pick up quite a good amount of kills thus far into the game. But, yeah, Shrimzy still snaking over here. Ferox, they got to know that he's over here somewhere, so they're just going to be waiting for him. Duel now going to take control of the radio tower. And do you guys say Team Bliss still hanging out here by the water tower? Honey Badger did kill the final member of Shoot to Kill coming out of the compound to the north, so he's just going to try to snake his way in to this zone the best he can, but it's going to be pretty tough here. I think all of Team Bliss are probably going to be in a good spot here, but Shrimzy coming alive down to a 1v1 between him and the final member of Ferox. Molly going up over the top right on the rock. Is it going to spread around? Oh, he's in front of it. So it's not going to get...
They both don't see each other. The land must be just enough. And there's the peak, and Nikos is able to get him. Didn't move in such a long time, even with the molly right burning on their backside.
Yeah, Nico's huge individual performance coming out for him right now, up to 7 kills. Honey Badger does get spotted and go out to Bliss over on the north side of the zone. Good game from Livid, though, going out in 4th place. But yeah, Nico's 7 kills, snaking it in for his team here inside of the zone, so it doesn't have to do anything crazy just yet. Duel not going to need to figure out what they want to do to kind of make it off of the hilltop area. They can still play up here, I think, just by, you know, just a little bit. They do have a few ridges that they can play around, but it does look like Wooly's going to be a little preemptive and swing around over towards the east.
For sure, and Team Bliss definitely in a golden position here at the moment, as most of the Duel does have to come down. And in order to get to them, they have to cross this huge wide open field with no hay barrels, nothing, no trees, nothing going on in between them and Team Bliss. So we'll see how they approach that. Hopefully they still have some utility saved, and Nikos is going to look to play spoiler snake over here. There's a crate in front of him if he does need to re-up on his armor there, and he may look to push to get that 3rd party onto Duel, but at the moment it's going to be really tough for Duel to take this, as they have to come across that wide open field.
Yeah, so probably going to see a Bliss, you know, get, you know, some points here. Nico's going to definitely just try to snake it in, try to secure that 2nd place. Edge spotting out Michael up at the top of the hill. Great headshot onto him. Is going to take him down low. Going to be forcing him to use a first aid kit. And yeah, it's basically just going to be, I think Nico's just hangs out and waits to see if he can 3rd party on any action here. Maybe not even 3rd party, just make sure he tries to secure the 2nd place.
especially if he's picking up the information. He should know that where
Mhm.
the primary, both teams are mainly located, and how he does have pretty much that entire west side. I mean, it's gonna be really tough again with the landscape so open and wide, but maybe he can get into one of these dips that I see, but then he gets closer to duel. So really tough decision making. But if he was silent as a snake, now he is known with the smokes out. Team Bliss knows his positioning. They're going to be looking that way, trying to get that kill off from Nikos.
Yeah. I think definitely had to smoke here. I didn't realize it was, so open to Team Bliss as he comes around that rock and is now going to try to live inside of his smoke, making his way towards the edge of the zone. Wooly on that off angle, though, is proving to be a little dangerous here for Team Bliss, but they all got their heads on a swivel, throwing pop shots left and right where they think all of the members are. Nikos gets spotted going into his smoke that was blooming and gets taken out by Edge. Great shots, going to get the elimination there. But like I said, great individual performance by Nikos. 7 kills on him by himself. I think it was 8 total for Ferox going out in third place. Now down to a true 3v3 though. FaZe 9 is here and closing in, and both of these teams very close to the edge of the zone. I don't know exactly which team's going to have to move first, but it might be Team Bliss based off of how everything is set up right now.
Look at that center star, man, as wide open as it possibly can get.
Mhm.
Both teams are going to have to move in equally, so I am curious to see how they play this. I hope Team Bliss does have some utility, as Edge looks like to reposition his UAS to use that as maybe some moving cover possibly. Yep, there it goes, just as he does. And really, honestly, it comes down to who's going to outplay who at this moment.
Yeah, so it looks like everybody on Duel is kind of just living by their smoke walls right now. That's going to allow actually Team Bliss to take some position inside of the field. Critical motion proning his way just directly towards where Duel is. I don't know exactly how many smokes they're going to have left to be able to make this push. But yeah, Textil is going to get spotted out and knocked. No smokes for him, not able to provide him any mobile cover like his teammate was able to with the UAS. It's really going to be on critical motion here to step up and try to get the return frags to get the opening for his team. He's going to spot 2 coming around the left side of the smoke. Gets the spray on 1. 1 more is going to be there. He hears the shots of Cherry with the SLR, so he should have an idea, but it's now down to a 2v1 as Edge gets taken out by Cherry. So it's all on critical motion here if he's going to be able to turn out this 2v1, if you can spot them coming out the edge of the smoke. But it's going to be Wooly coming around the side for Duel with the back-to-back first places. A few more kills this time. 9 kills total coming out for Duel on the first game of Erangel. Good performance by Wooly there in the in-game. 6 kills total for him. Cherry picking up 3. And just good positional play for them to come out of the compound they were in to go up towards the radio tower when they did. Bliss, good position. They dove into that water tower, used their vehicles as a fort to try to hide behind it and do what they could to stay alive for as long as possible. Nikos, though, like I said, 7 kill, good individual performance from him, coming up in third place there for Ferox.
I will say a couple talking points here that we have. Duel, first off, I thought they were hung out to dry there. They had a couple, maybe not necessarily shifts, but just enough playable area for them to be able to secure the win there. I did not think they were able to pull that off. So shout out to Duel on that. And also we're looking at Livid, Honey Badger, way to maintain that patience in that 2v2v2 fight to be able to come away with that, with the placement points and everything. And Soup's incredible 15-minute patience up in the hospital. And then shooting over to Singularity, able to take down multiple different teams coming at them, as well as finally going out to the winners and Duel coming up on them. But the way they held that position was incredible. So shout out to those teams. Great job in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Profi, 5 kills on himself. Soniqs had to do a lot of work coming out of the swamp there, as well as all the teams that had to do a lot of work over on the west side of the zone. Singularity though, Pame coming up huge with that 1v2 on to a wild card. Sure, Singularity extremely pumped to see that happen. Singularity fans there in the chat. Love to see it, guys. But that's gonna be it for game 4. We got 2 more coming at you for the games tonight. Once again, this is the Americas Pro Division for the 303 Royale number 2. We got myself, Famosity, and Apples coming at you with the commentary action today. Had a few unfortunate broadcast situations, but we got it all straightened out and we're powering through. It's going good right now. We're gonna have some great final 2 games coming at you here in just a minute, so we'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to hop into Game 5 on the night. My name is Famosity, coming at you with the man, the myth, the legend, 303 Apples, the brain behind, well, one of the brains behind everything that goes on here with the 303 League. This is the Pro Division for Americas as a whole, as we are including LATAM and Oceanic teams coming at you. There is your scoreboard on the screen real quick, taking a quick look at it as we see Duel with the back-to-back wins, jumping themselves up there into first place. Oath Gaming closely behind with 37 points. But we are going to go ahead and throw it straight into the game. Plane making its way across the sky as we are going to see everybody taking their jumps out. And very interesting to see with 3 teams that were inside of George Pool last game, now only having 1. It's going to be Red Canids. Going to be splitting up North George. Nobody in South George. Everybody opting to go somewhere a little bit more favorable. Maybe something they are a little bit more interested in here for Phase 1. And I believe Apples, you there?
Yeah, I absolutely love Discord's muting feature because it does mute you very solid. But I've been talking for the past 5 minutes and nothing.
Oh, really? I was wondering.
Come in and I was just like, oh, thanks for cutting me off, jerk.
I'm sorry. Well, I messaged you and I was like, oh, we're getting close to the game starting. He hasn't said anything yet, so I figured I'll just really just. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. But anyway, early action with Meta Gaming taking out. Who was that? It looked like Ragnar from Red Canids. Did I read that? Or
I think it was one on Bliss here. I think it was critical. Yeah, it had to have been Critical Motion here on Bliss. He's not in the game, and it's the only death that we have. So, or the only body we're missing.
Getting one early, but it seems like most of these teams, they've already kind of tested the waters a little bit. That plane path was ideal for anybody to get anywhere on the map at the moment, and now you see these teams take their actual drop spots, their actual positionings of where they want to be. You see 3-3, interesting split here. One went South George by himself after Livid was there last, so we do know Livid goes Milta. And then they also took a Gatka split right next to Radiance. So interesting positioning there. And yeah, overall, I mean, Ferox making a really early rotate. I'm not sure if they're going to elect the south side of the circle or the north side, as this is tricky. I mean, we would expect that the circle is going to rotate and shift down to military, but I mean, we've seen some wonky things in PUBG. We don't know. I mean, it could stay north. Who knows what's exactly going to happen, but most of these teams just settling in right now. Wildcard, Singularity, Duel with center positions in the map at Ra's School and Watertown Ruins. We do have Shoot to Kill in their typical north position. Yasnaya controlled by Athletica. But looking on the east side, Zenith and Ferox getting involved early. Zenith, they must have had a contested drop together. Mm-hmm. They 2-3-man pushed that compound and secured the easy frag.
Yeah, Ferox, I think just finding themselves in a situation where they don't necessarily know where they want to or can drop, I guess. Here they had, just lost one there to Zenith. They have another one inside of the new, I call this the trophy building. I don't know what it's called in competitive or if it's still called, the Big Blue Warehouse or whatever, but I call it the trophy building because we got, the banners from Gen G winning the global championship. We do have, some trophies scattered around in here as well. So
I wish to see this more across the map. I really like what they did here, kind of connecting the esports community with the casual base, as players might walk in here that have never watched esports in general and look at it and say, well, what the hell is going on here and who's Gen G? And maybe that makes some research, but that is one spot on the map. I'd like to see that in some other key pivotal locations, maybe a couple buildings at Pachinki, maybe Milta Power can hold that, or Nova or something. So but we do love to see the engagement from the developers there, connecting their esports community with their casual community.
Yeah, absolutely great. But touching on what Ferox was doing, they had the 2 members on the north side, then sending 2 across the water very early. Or across the bridge very early, going to be grabbing the compounds there on the southeastern side, or on the south side of the bridge. Over here on the other bridge, though, we did see Radiance going towards the Ferry Pier, just probably trying to secure a boat, and it doesn't look like McCoy and Nerf have vehicles, which is why we see Aguila going to be coming over here, picking them up, just whipping it. Yeah, whipping it in there, going to pick them up, and then they're probably just going to take the boat across. Soniqs go just straight towards the bridge area, scout it out, and are now going to be just driving across, as it is a ever so fun military game coming out here for Game 5 on the day. We do see Meta. They are grouping up. I don't think there's a there's a other. Oh, okay. He must have pulled the boat around from the east for them to be able to get in, and then now they are going to make their way across. So, Military Island, very interesting to see how some of these teams are going to try to make their way across. Could be, pretty tough for Athletico or Singularity or Shoot to Kill up on the north side, as they're going to be the last rotating teams in for them to try to make their way across to the island. But we'll just have to see.
For sure, and it looks like 303 is starting to consolidate in Primors. Hopefully they found boats. We'll see what they come out of it, and they're going to look to make their south rotate into Military Island. Radiance also shipping over through Ferry Pier. They had a ferry on over, and they've gotten a boat, and they're coming over as well. But yeah, it looks like Trimsy and Co. with Soniqs, they're really setting up a strong position on Military Island. You'd figure there'd be some more bridge campers with the given situation and how most boats are going to be taken, but it seems like, well, I guess they're kind of camping it, but not too much.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, yeah, it's definitely starting to shape up. I mean, Ferox is fighting off something more that he could chew up there with Athletico. I'm curious if they turn around and elect to take him out, because he is a solo against all four.
Yeah, and if you would just like to go ahead and continuing to provide the excellent radio commentary for everyone, that would be greatly appreciated. As my game did crash, so I'm going to be restarting here quickly.
Hell yeah, we love PUBG doing PUBG things. We're doing our best here. But as FAMASI starts out, we're going to be looking here as Zenith is going to be rotating past Prison and Lipovka into the northeast side of the circle, and Athletico, not sure where they're going to be committing to yet. They're going to be holding out around that east side bridge, but on the other side of it. Right now you have Kick, Sharp, Tiggleton. Not sure if they secured a bow. I can't quite tell, but it looks like, nope, they just sent it. Tig and Sharp Shot completely sent the Dacia right over the hill into the water, and they're already halfway there. So definitely a big strat there. Red Canids in general coming in, making their way in the northern end of the circle. They're going to remain safe until the next phase shifts. We're more than likely going to be shifting down to Military Island, but we have seen some extreme circumstances where it does say north somehow. So we don't know exactly where that's going to go yet. Novo's being controlled by Oath and Shinboy and crew. We have Ferox kind of camping out the bridge the best they can. Cozy, who's taking those pop shots at Athletico, remains safe. They did not elect to crash him. And at the moment, he's just doing his thing north of shelter, hanging out. Maybe he hears SDK coming in down the road, and he's looking to set up there. Not sure what he can really do by himself. SDK and Singularity are going to kind of collide here on the rotation, both opting to come in from the north, and both, I mean, I see they're really on top of each other right now, so we'll have to see what happens. Here comes some drive-bys coming out. Kodak switching seats to try and get Purdy. Purdy immediately turns off, but he's going to turn right into Pomi and quick. So we'll have to see if they're able to do anything. And all teams elect to kind of let each other pass by. And Civil's going to get out of the car, possibly take some pop shots over to them. But as we're going to see the center of Military Island is really congested at the moment. You have Meta taking an early fight with Livid here, knocking and flushing Honey Badger. Bliss is going to look to get in on this action. So we have three teams fighting without center military. Duel is taking the actual military base over from American Dragon, as American Dragon shifts a little east towards that giant, what do you call it, like Radio Tower Hill or Stalbert-esque, but on the other side. Right now we're going to have an early engagement between 303 and Radiance. McCoy takes down Silers. Nerf takes down D-Rich. We got a 4v2 situation. Very unfortunate for 303 at the moment, as they made an excellent rotation. Both of these teams taking boats to get across. Nerf's going to flush D-Rich, and that's down 2 for 303. Penta is kind of stuck out there in a field behind a tree and a rock with some smoke trails. And then we have Sophia way out here, kind of just bailing out. He realizes that he's running. He's dipping away from the action. So Penta's going to kind of be stranded, and we're going to see Radiance, especially Aguila here, look to take a flank on him, and boy, Nerf holding the angle. I'm surprised that Batty can't see Penta where Batty's positioned right now if he kind of just looks. There it goes. Batty, just as I say, it takes down Penta. Penta fires some shots back. Not happening. So 3 are down from 303 at the moment, with Sophia escaping down to the south of Military, although he might run into American Dragon, who is also rotating that way. But in general, we're seeing a lot of early action right now. We have a hard west shift over to Ferry Pier, kind of in that direction. Again, we weren't sure how these circles were going to take, and it seems to be a crazy part. SDK, Red Canids is holding that north end of the circle there across the bridge on that, the 6-stack compound, whatever you were to call them. But you see Zenith kind of going to play spoiler and snake next to SDK. And looks like reaction is back. So I want to give to the more experienced color commentator on what he's seeing here.
I don't know about that. You did absolutely incredible there. I had the game up for a while, but I didn't screen share that 303 fight with you, and you handled it like a true professional. It's very good. But
it's my high school basketball announcing skills.
Oh, hey, alrighty then. But yeah, so zone is shifted over towards the west. Red Canids, they were kind of third partying what was going on there with Wildcard. Shoot to Kill is going to be over there, still on the north side with them. Going to need to make their way across, but getting very congested in where you normally see the congestion here for this type of zone, out towards the west of the airstrip, all of the buildings and the compounds. Sophia does make his way down the hill, going to be by a tree over there. And one thing to notice, we do see Livid inside a new terrain feature of this part of the map. You love to see it. Very nice area here that they're going to be grabbing for them to set up after losing, I believe it was Honey Badger earlier in the game.
Absolutely. And then we're also seeing Cozy's eventually making that long-awaited rotate where he was just out alone by himself for so long across the bridge, right into Zenith's hand. Zenith's 4 up, watching the bridge. You have Sweet Soul kind of holding. Cozy coming in. He's about to get sprayed down in a very bad way. But hey, I mean,
makes it through.
Okay, Athletico kind of helps out there, and we get 2 knocks on Zenith just like that in a fight that Zenith looked like he was easily going to win. Athletico helps out, and now Zenith's 2 knocks at the moment. 2 down.
Yeah, Sweet Soul there getting to pick up 1, but is going to get traded out by Roth and Mystery, who were pushing over. I think they are also going to be able to get the res on to Shuru as the zone closing in, so they're going to need to start making the rotate away, but they should be A-okay. So a little losing a body early, tough situation for Zenith there with the influence from Athletico from the hilltop to their south. But Cozy, if I'm looking here, I think he is the final member left alive for Ferox after they have just been, yes, he is, a really tough game 5 here after a very good performance in the previous game. Just not able to get the early game, I think, figured out here, but you make it into late game, they'll usually be A-okay. As we zoom back across over towards the very congested west side of the military base, seeing all the teams that are huddled around over in this vicinity. In the zone, it is going to shift, actually not necessarily a super north hard shift, but it does basically favor the north half of the military island.
Really surprising here to see SDK and Wildcard making it across, no problems. I believe both teams didn't have boats. I might be mistaken on SDK, but Wildcard had a swim mat. Neither problems from either team, and now they get rewarded with that circle shift, kind of holding them in. SDK kind of has room to flex to go to different buildings here on the northeast circle. We do have Red Canids kind of approaching that Wildcard team right now, seeing what kind of engagement they can get out of there. Duel and Soniqs playing a little dangerously close to each other, as well as you look at the actual military base. Teams are pouring in from the south. The solo from 303 coming out, American Dragons down there, Livid, Athletico, Meta, and Oath all coming on the south side of military base right now.
Yeah, and Soup just driving by, unfortunately, is going to get blasted off that bike from Chrisdom there. Sophia's coming in. Oath comes into the factory. Athletico is going to be right in front of Sophia whenever he is going to be driving by. Let's see, is Nick going to get the shots in and spray him out of the buggy there? But he is going to make it through all the way to the police station. Buggy almost exploded. Going to have to bail out of that one, and sitting A-okay for right now, as now Meta is focusing their attention over to Extreme, and then Flood also gets obliterated trying to come in by Oath. So Athletico bleeding 2 bodies here on the phase 3 shift as they are trying to regroup inside of the military base.
Sophia
stolen away. Wow.
Past everybody. Yeah, stolen away. Unfortunate there. Meta's going to look to clean up everyone that comes in around them at the moment. Sophia makes a really solid push to get through the mayhem, recognizing that maybe a little bit northern of the military base is going to be free, but Athletico is taking a position in C block there. So we'll see if Oath, these are some easy frags from the cleanup. Cozy's by himself, Sophia's by himself, Athletico's a 2-man. So we'll see how the southern side kind of shapes up at the moment. But looking up on the west side, all these teams are 4 up. They're doing a great job protecting each other. I mean, it is glad to note that we still have all 16 teams in play right now going into phase 3 here soon. It's just a lot of action going on, and all these teams are doing a good job keeping their roster up.
Yep, and we do see the slow rotating coming in on the south side is going to be Singularity now going to test their hand in coming into the military base. Looks like they're going to play it slow, though, like they have up to this point in the game, just playing edge. Going to hang out here on the south side, figure out how they're going to, traverse their way navigating through military base here. They could just bomb it into C block. Why not? Oath going to be throwing some shots at them as soon as they step up to the top of that ridge from Factory and ATC. So they're just going to be exchanging shots here. Phase 4 is going to reveal itself and is going to hard shift back to the south. So lots of military base proper still inside of the zone here for this one. So probably going to see it get even more congested as more teams potentially try to dive bomb down into it.
Dive bombing indeed. I mean, you have this whole area that's wide open at the moment. My map knowledge isn't up to par. I feel like there's some playable positionings here on this like hill mountainish area, but as you see, that west side's really going to start getting congested. Wildcard looking to make their move on Red Canids, as well as Radiance kind of flanking around, coming up behind Red Canids to surprise them. Singularity, perfect shift for them. They get to the Broken Plain junkyard over down there, and they're able to play that for free at the moment. Bliss as well, taking shots from STK. So everyone's kind of starting to begin their early skirmishes here. And see how this turns out. Radiance Batty Low getting a knock-in flush on hand 1 Red Canids.
Yeah, so Red Canids, I think just getting completely taken off guard that Radiance would go for this kind of swing around and push. I imagine they don't have their vehicles at their any vehicles that they're able to use. That's why they're having to go for this foot push. Nerf going to spot out Kickstart, tag him up as they are going to continue pushing forward for this one, and it's just going to be a 3-man or a 3-team like bloodbath fight here on this side of zone. Nerf, he's in front of a vehicle. He could potentially get in it and kind of get the heck out of there. Rusty Zera is going to get the knock onto Tiggleton down inside of the compound there. I don't know if they're going to try to go for that res or not, but let's see here. The Red Canids, they are just going to be holding from this ridge, probably in the best situation for what's about to unfold in front of them between these 3 teams, but they are down a man, so they got to be careful not to suffer any more knocks.
Definitely have to be careful indeed there. Radiance and Kick, and I believe Keenan's with him. No, Keenan's resin Tig right now. Kick's doing his best right now to hold off the onslaught from Radiance. Red Canids, I'm surprised they're not getting a little bit more active, picking up these easy kills for them. And then SDK also pouring in, taking down Mystery with Shu and Roth entering that C block, trying to maintain a position there. Here's a fight, though. We're looking at Radiance McCoy taking down Kick, and kill demo. Getting a kill there. Batty low, flushing Kick out.
Yeah, so Kick, like you said, trying to do his best to hold off that push. Tig and Sharpshot, they were trying to come up and support, but Kick is going to go down. He does, I don't know who knocked Aguila there, but Aguila is knocked for Radiance as the push is still coming out. And this is just, it's a push that both of these teams, they have to do it, but it's not going to help them out in the long run other than just a couple of points. Tiggleton going to turn around, try to get the shots onto Batty, but him and Sharpshot are taken down, so it's just going to be Keenan left alive. He is going to get the knock onto Batty coming in the backside of the zone there. McCoy stuck behind the tree here with Sharpshot. Keenan's going to be holding it, waiting for him to peek around the side, and that's just going to be him and McCoy left alive. Spray is there, not able to connect. It's going to be a 1v1 as the Red Canids, they're just hanging out over on the ridge to the south, still just watching everything that's going on. Unfortunately, not going to be able to pick up too many of these kills themselves. Spray is there. Keenan going to have to reposition from the nade coming in. And it's going to be, almost getting the edge on McCoy there, but McCoy does die to the zone. Phase 4 getting ready to close in, so it's going to really hurt for Keenan after it does.
While this was going on, back on the other side from them, Bliss and SDK got into an engagement. SDK really gave it to Bliss at the moment. Right now, we currently only have Jumbi up from Team Bliss, and SDK looks to continue that fight and move on, pushing Jumbi with everyone pinning him down between those cars. Jumbi returns a knock, though, on Luke and gets the flush. Amazing kill point there, picked up despite the circumstances.
Yeah, I think he was just he was ego peeking in the middle of the field there, just trying to get the quick single tap onto Jumbi's head. But Jumbi, with the quick peeks, able to get the shots in and get the flush onto Luke there. So great shots coming out for him. He's just in a 1v2 hold now, trying to do the best he can. Molly up over the top, potentially going to do some damage. We did see Keenan go out for Wildcard out in 15th place. And it's just going to be a hold here as Jumbi is trying to do the best he can. Tagged up, and it is going to be Alo picking that one up for shoot to kill.
Down on the other end of the zone right now. It looks like Red Canids is going to peek over on SDK and look at that fight and the rotation in, as they know SDK is banged up at the moment with only 2 up. You have Soniqs and Duel doing their thing. Down south, American Dragon is currently rotating in a little bit behind Duel with Livid holding edge. Singularity and Meta getting into it right now. Singularity kind of sent it onto Christem's position, and they're clearing them out with Meta holding different buildings at the moment. Oath looking to work their way in through all the buildings and cover. Sophia and Cozy hanging out solo on the side with Zoidmate and Nick just hanging down C block. So different things going on at the moment. Looks like Meta and Singularity might continue to engage here. Although military is definitely a tough place to fight. Tons of cover, tons of buildings to peek your head into, and rat, snake all above. So different aspects and just different things happening at the moment.
Yeah, we are going to turn to the northwest part of the map. Soniqs going to be creeping up onto the Red Canids as they make their way off the top of the hill. Up close and personal is going to be Mime leading the way. Kill demo right in front of him, not spotting it out, but he's going to throw all of his utility. Does spot the head there, get the sprays in, and just like that, cleaned up very quickly as Profi and HWin pick up the other 2 for Red Canids, and that is going to be them going out in 13th place. And now Soniqs going to be focusing their attention over towards the hilltop, where Duel are going to be lying and waiting for them as American Dragons throwing some third-party shots in as well.
I have to say, I love Soniqs calling. I believe HWin is the man at the IGL lead with that, with Trimsy kind of co-calling with him. Their calling today has been fantastic. They're taking fights, they're being aggressive, but they're also laying off when they need to lay off and playing positioning. So really enjoying the play style from Soniqs today as they kind of first major tournament, they're unveiling their new roster that was also known as Genesis. So definitely some solid plays from them overall. We have Oath shooting down on Zenith right now and Meta. Some engagements coming out, but again, it's really tough to fight in this military zone with so much cover and buildings. You see American Dragon kind of outside the zone at the moment, going to learn to work their way in as Vegas has to go into the blue to get a vehicle. Duel kind of just sitting pretty on that compound, looking to hold out both teams from their north and south. And Sophia, the Snakes. Let's check up on the Snakes. Colsey must have went down. I didn't see him.
Yep, just did to Athletico. Yep.
Just did to Athletico. Sophia kind of holding out. Must know Athletico might be held up in this building. That's why he's staring that way. We'll kind of see how this plays out. SDK also knowing some things are going on behind them there. Going to be interesting. They're pulling in the high sense Warlord. There's going to be a fight down there. Also, Soniqs approaching Duel right now on the north side. Sophia patiently waiting to see him. Oh, Sophia doesn't want to give up his position.
Wow.
What he does, he snakes around. Huge patience, awareness to at least secure a point. Unfortunately, no placement points there from 303. And both Athletico and 303 will be going down in 10th and 11th, respectively. Down to 9 teams at the moment.
Yeah, very patient actually there from Sophia. Saw the first one get knocked to someone else and then knew the other one was coming up just on the outside of the guard shack there. Heard the first aid going off, so immediately went for the push out. But here comes the push between Soniqs and Duel. Michael's going to step around the side, get third-partied, and get knocked there and flushed very quickly by HWin. So now a 3v1, I believe, as the res is going to come out on Mime. I don't know where the final member for Duel. Oh, Wooly. Yeah, Wooly. I was about to say, the colors blending in. I didn't quite spot him there. Wooly trying to creep around on the side there does get picked off, and that is going to be Duel losing control of the hilltop here to the Soniqs, who cleaned him up. They do lose one in the process, but here comes American Dragons right down into where Hisense Warlord is at, and they are going to get the elimination. Yeah, he got 2, though, but they do figure out that Caden is in the guard shack just to the north as he was trying to support his teammate. Here from Vegas going to try to get the quick headshot and the quick elimination, but Caden's going to go ahead and smoke out the guard shack there as Vegas gets tacked up from Singularity just to his east. So I didn't see the pull up there for American Dragons, but I imagine it was just a very quick drive into the bowl, we're sending it type scenario.
And you look at Meta and Oath, they've been playing a really slow fight here. Oath slowly picking up one by one. I believe one of the players on Oath got knocked, but they're doing a good job keeping all 4 moving together as a team. As you can see in this building, they're clearing out room by room for the Snakes. They're looking to come over to the open garage. We're going to see a finish here. Ragnar gets the knock on Wolf as Rella was trying to trade that out. Here comes some utility, some flashes coming out, some smoke, some nades, a little flame there too. And Rella's going to look to stick the res here on Wolf.
Yeah, just throw all the things and hope that we get them there. As flashbang, smokes, grenades, they all came out. Able to get the res onto Wolf. That's actually really good. But yeah, breaching and clearing as a full team there for Oath. They are going to still try to breach and clear and get this all out. But backing off is going to be Sir Napoleon. Is going to get the elimination onto Ragnar as he was trying to retreat and reposition. So just going to be Sizzlin left alive here for Oath as they are now swarming the single warehouse where they previously were at. But they're going to have to deal with this last remaining member here for Meta, then make their push directly into Singularity.
Singularity has been waiting for this. They've been wanting it. They've been watching this side with Pomi just holding the other side. All three over on here. They want this fight and they want to take it. Sizzlin trying to hold down the best he can as a snake in between both teams, knowing that there are full teams on either side of him. Oath's going to eventually wrap around, and there it goes. Takes down most of Relo's HP as well as the third party from SDK Halo. Singularity, though, smelling blood, really wants. First off, Kodak's going to get this straight. Second off, Singularity is going to try and clean up this fight.
Yeah, so the hold coming out here at the same time, though. Soniqs able to push their way down the hill on the north side. They're going to be coming right next to where Shoot to Kill are at. But Oath doing very good here. Utility usage being very good. Blocking off the line of sights here from that single warehouse where Singularity is going to be peeking from. It allows them to push up towards the wall. Kodak, though, is prone outside. Going to get spotted by Shinboy as his smoke was blooming to give him some cover, as well as Quick over on the left going to get taken down as well. So just two members left alive here. Pome is split off towards the distance. It's just going to be Napoleon up close and personal. Going to try to get the res here right in the smoke here as Oath is now swarming this warehouse.
I was going to say, I don't know how he did not see him. He was kind of perfectly in between the smokes there, but they eventually get it. Kill confirmed on Kodak. They're going to be dancing around here to Napoleon or whatever. Napoleon dancing around the smokes, trying to make his move. Pome also coming in to help. The third party's coming out from American Dragon. It is really difficult to deal with all of these aspects and angles from all these different players. They're going to hold themselves in the open garage in the corner, kind of regroup, med up, boost up, and then they're going to look to push out as Wolf comes to the other side to get information. Soniqs making their way on SDK. SDK doing their best as a two-man to hold out Soniqs from the north. And Caden still sneaking out along that fence line, doing his best to pick up placement points.
Shoot to Kill, yeah, just living by their smokes right now in the middle of this parking lot area with all these cars. But Mime, he's just going to push straight up close and personal, is going to find Uncivil laying prone right on the other side of that concrete barrier. So now down to just one left alive. And H-Win actually going to get the molly knock onto Pome there. And Oath sees that, and they're going to immediately start pushing their way through this parking lot to see if they can kind of clean up what's going on and take some more favorable territory inside the edge of the zone. Kill stolen away there by Snakers, and it's going to be Alo taken out by Snakers as well. Shoot to Kill going out in 6th place. Looks like Mime went down to Alo just before that happened. H-Win now going to try to get the trade onto Wolf. He does. And Shinboy, Napoleon stepping up from behind, is going to get knocked and before Snakers turns around and gets the elimination back onto him. So Oath now down to just one member left alive after Napoleon coming in with the third party. They're going to try to get the reses, but H1 and Shrimsy trying to scout this out, see what's going on over here to see if they can not allow this res to come out.
American Dragon doing a fantastic job from the south. They're not sure where the snakes are located. They've been checking every angle. I've been watching them. They're doing a great job clearing their angles. And here comes that continuation of that fight. Oh, up one-on-one here. The trades are happening. Shrimsy against Shinboy. Shrimsy going the wrong way. And Shrimsy comes up with the flank through the blue and handles the positioning with only 3 teams remaining and 5 up. We have 2 solos and good old American Dragon out here controlling most of the zone. Caden, really, like, I think he was a snake starting in like the 10th position, and now he's made his way into the top 3. So fantastic positioning from Caden.
Yeah, making it happen here. He is in a really tough spot. He is just outside of this fence line with the star basically going to be roughly right where Maluk currently is at, and American Dragons here. All very experienced players, so they know kind of what this game is boiled down to. It's going to be a 3v1v1. They know Caden is still alive from their encounter earlier with Livid, and after all of the fighting that just happened, they do probably understand that it is just Shrimsy left alive over on the northeast side.
Shrimsy and Caden doing their best to play the zone. Maluk holding. Everyone's just holding angles at the moment. Balefrost and Vegas kind of just getting some information. They know that Shrimsy is gonna. They know Soniqs or whatever's left of them is gonna be in this northeast corner. Obviously, nobody really knows what's going on with Caden. He hasn't been spotted yet. He's been sitting there for the longest time. So we'll see if he can come up and play a little spoiler to this fight, or if he's just gonna take that second place position.
Might actually
And
get
there it
third.
goes.
Yep, gonna get third as he was trying to snake his way through that field. So these guys are gonna clean it up. They know where Shrimzy is at, just on the other side of this small open garage here. Shrimzy headshot there, and they are gonna full W key to make sure he does not deny to the zone.
Yeah, they are setting up perfectly. These American Dragons, all very experienced player with Maluk, Vegas, Balefrost, all MPO players, know what they're doing, know how to work together. They know how to hold corners. So we'll see. Shrimzy, is he going to deny the point, or is he going to actually try and take this fight?
It
I'm not too
looks
sure.
like he's just gonna go for the deny, and American Dragons.
Denial.
Yep, just going for the easy dub, just hanging out in the center, waiting for him to come around. American Dragon picking up 4 kills and the first place finish coming out here for game 5. I think they dropped on military base.
They did.
Yeah,
They did.
so
They kind of just centered up the whole time.
yeah, they were the military-based team, so not shocking to see the military-based team perform very well in terms of placements, picking up the dub there. They really only had like the one crash fight, I think, on to I think Hisense Warlord and members of Livid there, kind of on the south side of that zone. But nonetheless, they still do close out the victory with 4 kills there, putting in a lot of work that game. We are going to see coming in second place with Shrimzy able to secure that for his team. There is going to be 11 kills for the Soniqs, and then Caden snaking his way all the way into third with 1 kill for Livid.
Most definitely. Again, it goes down to Soniqs' calling and how they've been taking fights, how they're engaging, and it's very productive way for them at the moment. You look also shoot to kill. They came in with 7 kills, but going out a little bit early in 6th place. And it does seem that even these teams, we've noticed a trend. These teams are going out early, sure, but they're picking up a lot of kills on the way out. Radiance, last place, 16th. What do they get? 7 points anyways from their aggressive play style.
Yeah.
So yeah, really picking up the I noticed, especially like in the Asian regions, that's how they play. They love to fight in that phase 1 and beforehand. So we're seeing some of that play style for some of these teams today. But otherwise, we appreciate you guys turning in. This was game number 5. We're moving on to our final game. Am I correct? Is this game 6 coming in?
Yeah, going to be game 6 coming up.
Yeah. So final game, game 6. We appreciate you guys working with us through the production mishaps. FaMaster came in, saved the day. We're doing our best to put this together for you guys. And yeah, just stay tight. We'll be back in just under 5 minutes here for our final game of the day. Alrighty, folks. We are coming back in with game number 6, our final game of the day. I just want to thank all of you viewers for hanging out, staying patient with us, rolling through the punches. Unfortunately, our production team, Mustache Dave, the famous Mustache Dave, the real Mustache Dave, was unfortunately sick with a virus. He lost his voice, so he's doing everything he can to prepare to be better for tomorrow. Esquire and Seal, our other caster, and our lovely observer and production host. Unfortunately, their internets have been out through storms to their regions. So tomorrow, you can guarantee that there'll be a actual production with all of our fancy graphics and stingers and transitions and good stuff coming on the 303 Esports channel. Thankful for Famacity today to run the observation and kind of production end here, piecing together something for you guys to be able to view this and kind of jetting over to some scores going to this 6th game, having that load up right now for me. These teams are starting to separate, of course, on the leaderboard. There are 18 games in disqualifiers. It's not a long time. It's just 1/3 of the games in today. But we're currently looking at Oath, Soniqs, and Duel in our top 3 at 50, 45, and 43, respectively. Kind of pulling away from the rest of the pack. But Shoot to Kill, Athletico, American Dragon, Meta, Bliss, they're all kind of right there as well. So, a couple big games from either of these teams, and they're going to be shot right up to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the one thing to really note here is that Oath and Soniqs are really fragging their way through the lobby. Same with Shoot to Kill with 28, just one behind the Soniqs. Duel kind of getting, a little bit of extra help from their 2 wins, the 20 points from 2 first place games, only with 18 kills for them. But, PUBG is a game, getting kills, but realistically it's all about winning, getting that winner chicken dinner in the end, getting the kills. Definitely, though, it does help. And that's what we see coming out from Oath. They got 50 points, 32 kills, top frag in the lobby as a team, and that's why you see them up there on the top of the leaderboard, even though they only have 18 placement points.
Absolutely. And, we are looking at a pretty typical, just like, I'm glad for these plane paths. They've been allowing these teams to get to their drop spots, allowing them to get to play where they feel comfortable and able to rotate out. This is a pretty split down the middle, going diagonal from the East Coast all the way down to the West Coast, just under Hospital and above Gadka. So we'll be able to see all these teams flex to their normal positions and get one last quality air and goal game in here before we move to the Europe side tomorrow.
Yeah, I really hope to see Ferox kind of figure out what they're going to do for their drop here on this plane path. Game 3 of Erangel on the day. Both first games, they kind of had scuffed drops. So hopefully they're able to kind of figure something out here coming in for the final one. But yeah, pretty generous plane pass pretty much all day today. Tomorrow, though, for Europe, probably going to have 6 terrible ones. You never know what's going to happen with that one. But everybody making their way out of the sky. Ferox out early. Looks like they're probably going to try to go together as a group, as a 4-man, kind of around the same area that they did in the previous game. Shoot to Kill is going to be stretching out north. We do see Purdy already making his way over towards Noli, and the rest of them going probably over towards Sev. And that'll probably round as Oath is going down for Milta Power for this game. And then we do see Livid doing a little bit of their alternate drop, going back to Sogo.
Absolutely. And here we are. Teams are stretching out. Things are happening. We're getting the final game underway here. Radiance taking their normal southern, southwest drop that they usually do. It seems like American Dragon, they normally land military, but the plane obviously didn't really allow for it. So you see a little contestant here. Maybe they're going for vehicles here with D Rich, or exactly what's happening. And yes, D Rich does not. What's going on? Yep, D Rich gets in the back seat. And we all know how this goes, guys. We all know how this guys go. It's very unfortunate, but they're going to drive him right to Vegas, and Vegas is going to get an easy frag. D Rich is thinking right now, how unfortunate.
Yep, so Vegas is going to be here. D-Rich is just going to say hello. We'll see what happens if they're just going to go for the quick tap out of the car, not going to have any friendly, conversations or be generous about it. Going to go ahead and get him eliminated there. Unfortunate for D-Rich.
Unfortunate indeed. As we look at the rest of the map, 303 really split here. Sophia going up a little bit south of Hospital. Siler's taking all of Gadka, and Penta kind of taking that chopsticks area. So 303 is very spread out. As we look at the rest of the map, Team Bliss kind of holding out that farm split that's very popular. Zenith, of course, taking that eastern position of Lipovka, with Ferox kind of figuring out where they can finally drop. You know, most of their positions seem to be taken and stuff. They managed to find a nice little spot with the mansion, heaven kind of split over there. But all this is starting to shape up. Radiant's going to take their time. American Dragon, what is going on here?
Hey, they're going to mill base to loot. Why not?
Fantastic job there, getting a kill, getting a frag, and heading down south to military base. They're going to take a long loot and come in very late on edge. You do see that whole northwestern side, Zarky, and all the way through shooting range is completely open and free right now. So you might want to look at Red Canids kind of taking some of that positioning over. But basically all basic stuff, no crazy engagements to start this game. That's going to be it right now for at least the next few minutes. We do see a little congestion, as we always see around Rozhawk School with Wildcard Singularity. Duel's starting to move north, as you can tell, they early rotate.
Yeah, Wooly leading the pack, coming out of Watertown, making his way across the bridge, going up north. And so this is a very fun zone, because hopefully we have a little bit of an influence of the new and improved Plains area. Take a quick look at that, looking much better than what it did in the previous version of Erangel. But it is going to be one of those ones. There's water way up on the north. Not going to see too many teams probably stay on the south side of the river. Most teams going to be banking on it. Go ahead and go to the the north part of the map, north of the river, around the shooting range area. Livid making their full team rotation, going across George Pool Bridge. We're seeing quite a few more teams starting to make their rotations. Red Canids, they are regrouping, going to be seeing where they decide that they want to go. Shoot to Kill does regroup a little bit more towards the shooting range as themselves. And got to be careful, though. Wooly is going to have Kill Demo come in very close to him here in just a second. But nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen. Red Canids may think that there's more than one person there, especially if Wooly pulled the old switch to the secondary and start spraying. So it seems like there's multiple people there. As you can see, Duel is starting to make their way north. Soniqs is making their way north. Sophia looking to control a compound right outside of the crates of Georgia Pool. And that's a really solid compound to hold. H-Win kind of getting left behind. I'm not sure if that was purposeful or by accident, but
yeah, he's
there he goes.
Yeah, has a vehicle just scouting the bridge, scouting the compound there for his team. They drove across, so they're chilling. Singularity coming across from Roz. They're going to be finding somewhere up to the north. Lampalot does regroup with Wooly, so they're going to be hanging out over there inside of that compound. Red Canids going for a pretty big split across the two kind of spine ridges just on the northeastern side of George Pool. I know they do have two members actually inside the compound, but same relative area. Livid going to be pulling up just to the north of two of their members, so they're going to be wanting to be careful just to make sure not to overextend and bleed any bodies here in the early game.
And as we see, the center is starting to take shape. I mean, especially in that shooting range, mountain, the hill between Georgia Pool and shooting range, there are so many playable areas, so many tips, divots, hills, ridges that you can play successfully while staying safe. So you can look at that area, going to possibly start to get extremely congested with teams knowing that. Also on the east side, seems like Zenith is slow playing in from the Stallbury Yaz area up north. You have Ferox coming in from Yaz Bridge right now. Wildcard staying pretty in the forest down there in between Rods and shooting range. And then also some of these teams kind of taking their time making their way in. Radiance probably going to look to play a little bit edge, maybe throughout Georgia Pool on the west side. Down south, you have American Dragon finally getting to their loot spot, looting Military Island, getting geared up, and they're going to shoot back over the bridge. And then Metagaming making their way in right in the fields of Gadka. So everyone kind of laying claim. We do have a nice little fight here between Kill Demo and Lampalot. He's going to get the flush and kill there. And Honey Badger's looking this way, possibly communicating to Livid that they want to get involved in this. So things are happening.
Yeah, I think Lamp was just getting a little adventurous trying to scout the top of the hill with his car. I think he actually got shot out of his vehicle there by Kill Demo. So great shots coming out from him. Going to pick up the one early point for the Red Canids. 303 making their way across the Crates Bridge. Going to be grabbing the compound there. Bliss coming across the Watertown Roz Bridge. And then we do see Meta going to be slowly making their way across the bridge here in just a second. They're going to be careful. Currently, all of the Soniqs are focused towards the east, though. Shots are ringing out, but Meta still going to go for the send across the bridge. None of the Soniqs realizing any of this has happened as all 4 of them are shooting over Bliss, and there they are. They make it across unscathed before really any of the Soniqs are able to get any shots in on them.
Definitely dangerous territory there for Meta. You got Red holding out, should be able to pick up the shots here from Soniqs potentially.
Oh,
and here we go. Here comes the knock. Sizzling, Chris them, both knocked out of their vehicles. Ragnar and Sparking are going to be able to make their way through safely, I think, although Ragnar getting banged up on his way out. Bliss knows where Soniqs is, so Bliss is going to be keeping their eye on down there. 3-3 looks like to post it up a little bit further, taking another compound across the bridge, now kind of coming in the south North George. And yeah, here comes the movements from American Dragon. They're making their way out from the blue, from Military Island, coming up. So these teams are laying claim to their lands right now. They're trying to just get that solid positioning to be able to make some plays. Ferox, you can see coming in underneath shooting range, taking some heat from Athletico right now in their solid Severny crossroads split there. But yeah, everyone kind of just holding up. Radiance, I mean, if this shifts, it's not going to, I think. But if this shifts over towards the west side, Radiance is going to be really sitting pretty, especially with the whole Georgia Pool Bridge free.
Yeah, and as all that was happening, Meta was still just driving blindly through the center of the zone. Eventually, they do find themselves in a little bit of a valley, maybe going to grab the shacks that are in there. But Meta just driving around to be driving around. Phase 2 is going to shift up towards the north. Still quite a bit of water in play, so it is going to limit some of the playable area that there is for some teams. But just about everybody inside of the zone already has a pretty good claim at something, so you might not see too many teams go for too drastic of a reposition here on the phase 2 shift.
Singularity starting to make their way through Meta, and I did actually find that hilarious that you pointed out Meta really just full sending it all the way through, dipping and dodging from all the other teams. Radiance coming up on the west, kind of like I called. It didn't go all the way west, but they're at least getting that west for free, but Livid making their travels and their rotation a little problematic. You see 303 coming up on red Canids right now. It will be like a 3v2 fight, especially if Sophia comes in and decides to crash. Silers gets knocked by and one and flushed quickly. So this, not sure. Penta, yeah, he's going to elect to turn around and dip out from that fight, especially with 303 not being 100% sure exactly how many red Canids are in that complex, not knowing they're in a 2-2 split. So they're going to elect to kind of fall back a bit. You have Bliss and Wildcard gearing up to take a fight as well. Singularity and Soniqs, both respectively going to be fighting.
Oh boy, yeah, just straight pull up right here on the plains. H-Win's going to get knocked by Pame, almost traded back. Profi is low. Pame's doing his best. It's going to be Mime swinging around on the side there. The rest of Singularity out towards the west side. Kodiak is going to be swinging around on the north side here, see if he can get a little bit of an off angle towards the rocks. He's going to spot out Profi after getting the first aid. Shots are coming in there as he was going to try to reposition the vehicle, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the knock just yet. Rez is there. Smoke's now coming out, so it's going to be a little bit tougher for the lines of sights. But Kodiak's going to get the knock onto H-Win as he was shooting at Mime running down into the hill. Unfortunate, but Mime steps up, gets the flush onto Pame there, so they're going to have to go for the re-res. Kodiak's still swinging around, going to have a great off angle, a great flank over here on the east side. We do see Meta. They do go out to shoot to kill after all is said and done. As they're just driving through the middle of the field. But Kodiak trying to get the angles with the smokes. They're just too much cover allowed for the Soniqs. Is now they're just trying to recover and get a reassessment on what's going on.
And Pomi, as a dead body sitting there, is giving out a ton of information right now, feeding his team exactly where the positioning is.
Oh, wow.
Huge nade by Quick. Now it looks like Profi is the last one to hold up the stand here in the front. Win kind of anchoring in the back there. Oh, Quick comes right by Profi, who was in the diminishing smoke there and gets knocked. And Kodak's going to come in and get Profi. So there's 3 down, 1v1 situation. Who's going to win this team fight between Kodak and Win? Win picking the tree.
Oh, he's flashbang.
Flash out.
Uh-oh.
Kodak's going to reposition. And Kodak in some shots. And Win is going to close it out. Singularity is going to win that team fight. And we look, most are going to be resible as it's their first knock. So they're going to be safe reses, and Singularity's more than likely going to come up with 3 out of that fight.
Damn, getting caught with the utility in hand, going for the unhand. Didn't realize he was right on the rock in front of him. Great fight all around, though, but unfortunately, yes, it is going to be Singularity coming out with the victory on that one. But with all that happening, we do see Team Bliss. They're going to come over and try to investigate what's happening over here with this fight. Edge is the close man, up close and personal, going to potentially spot out Kodiak here in just a second if he peeks up over the top. Not resing Napoleon just yet, going to play it slow. But yeah, Edge also playing it slow, not wanting to just run in here blindly.
They just got out of a fight here with Wildcard, where they lost the one. Wildcard electing, both teams electing to obviously pull away from each other. Wildcard kick ran back and got his vehicle to meet up with the other 3, and they're approaching shooting range down there. You look at 303. Really odd split, obviously just playing for placement at this point to see which way the zone would shift, and Penta's out there caught out alone. But here we go. Looks like an engagement's about to kick off from Bliss and Singularity with some shots ringing out. The res is finally secured on Napoleon there by Quick, and Team Bliss will be coming into this plane, I believe, looking to fight, as Critical is going to kind of hold from the bird's eye view. In the kill feed, we have Sophia getting a knock on Cherry. Looks like Duel is getting involved. He gets the flush on Cherry, and it's going to be a 2v1 that Sophia loses. Textile is going to win this fight against Quick, though.
Yeah, now Edge trying to swing around, see if he can find out Kodiak, but Kodiak's going to get the trade there onto Textile. Now he's going to try to hold his Edge, and it's going to be Critical and Edge, ironically enough, coming around on his left side here as he is split off by himself. His 2 teammates still trying to give some support back out towards the west, but Critical Motion spots him as he was trying to run into the plane, quickly traded by the great shots coming out from his teammates. Napoleon is going to get the knock there, so just Edge left alive here for Team Bliss, and they got to have a general idea where he's at. Smokes are coming out. Looks like they're going to try to run over and get the quick res on to Kodiak.
Man. Here we are looking, man. Singularity has just been getting either kills fed straight to them or just nonstop engagements, because as we see, Red Canids sees what's going on, and they're going to come flank in as the next team to take on Singularity in the Broken Plains. Edge is able to get a successful revive on Critical, so it's still a 3v2 fight, but Red Canids creeping in here as a, what is that? All 4 are up for Red Canids.
Yep, all 4 are up, and we do see shots coming out, 2 knocked for Singularity, and that is the quick wipe. A little bit of influence there coming out from Red Canids, but it does look like Team Bliss is going to still be too strong. I doubt they get the res onto Textile, but we are going to go ahead as they're going to hop in vehicles and zoom away from this as we're going to take a quick look. Phase 3 closing in, and we didn't get to talk about it, but Phase 3 is a 50-50 water circle. Love to see it. Phase 4 going to shift directly away and center up nicely on shoot to kill. We are down to 12 teams. The southwestern edge is going to be very congested. Michael standing out here, staying by the shack over here, is going to get the knock onto McCoy as he was trying to run down. Agla also going to get flushed by Penta, who is picking up some kills from the blue solo member left alive for 303. And Batty and Nerf still just trying to live up on top of the ridge as McCoy does get flushed. Caden is down, stolen away by Rusty Zera from downtown all the way on the south side of the map. Nerf trying to get the shots in on Michael down there in the shack just below him, but getting tagged up from the Red Canids all the way on the hill down to his southwest. Almost going to go down here. And he does.
Red Canids definitely punishing right now in this whole fight. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams involved. You love to see those fights where it's 1, 2, or 3 players from each team, and they're all getting in the mix at once. A lot of mayhem. Penta's holding on behind this rock. Blue right at his back. Mikel and Batty kind of like playing tiptoe around here. Mikel gets Molly, he's on fire, and Batty's gonna get the flush coming out. Great play by Batty there, but that is
Penta.
Oh, Penta getting nerfed. Is that taking out Radiant? Oh, Batty, of course. Batty's still up. So we got Penta Batty fight here. I wonder if Batty's going to just loot up and elect to take his Dacian to get out.
Yeah, stealing that knock there is going to give, 303 another point. Batty, he is going to try to get the killer. Penta, as soon as he steps out from that rock, though, the Red Canids are going to get the elimination. And Batty's like, yeah, I'm not going to do it with that. I'm just going to go ahead, hop in this vehicle, and I'm just going to drive somewhere. It does look like also, Soup actually grabbed in a vehicle and drove away as well. I thought he maybe got picked off by American Dragons, but nope. He's going to drive his way over to the coast. He is going to be met with Roth and the rest of Zenith eventually. But Batty, tune in with him. He's just dive bombing it to the center of the zone. There is going to be a vehicle parked next to the shack, so he's going to want to clear it before he goes in. Got to be careful, though, as he is getting tagged up from the red Canids, who are just unrelenting, and it's actually going to be a shoot to kill who gets the kill on to Batty there. Unfortunately, there was no one in the shack. That vehicle that was parked next to it baited him.
Yeah, and red Canids sending it to this really powerful ridge here, but American Dragon is going to be right above them with the positioning. Soup for the incredible rotation, as you said, to be able to avoid that fighting. And here we are. We got a 4v4 fight breaking out between red Canids and American Dragon. Both teams' positioning is kind of spread out here at the moment, but Rusty's able to get Maluk. Don't think that there's going to be much support here for Maluk, and that's going to be one down on American Dragon in this fight. Yeah,
American Dragon's currently, I think, taking some third-party shots from the north from Zenith, but Soup came alive and got the kill on the Ross, so that might alleviate a little bit of the pressure. But yeah, American Dragons here, they did lose one. Kill Demo is up close and personal, kind of exchanging utility here with Venerated and Balefrost. But yeah, red Canids, they have been very active here in this game thus far, holding a 2-2 split early game like they have for a good majority of the games early on throughout the night tonight. And they are going to continue pushing forward as the American Dragons are just driving around trying to figure out where they want to go, end up settling on the shack that they're just going to dive bomb into with all three members. And they're inside zone, but that could be a relatively tough spot for them to be sitting as a three-man.
All right, and with Maluk there to getting taken out in that fight, really that whole top ridge couldn't be held anymore. They had to fall back. There's really no option for them, and you love to see red Canids just really going balls to the wall, pushing all the teams off the spots that they want. You do have Ferox up here in the south side of the circle. I'm not sure if they are aware of Team Bliss, the two Oceanic teams here fighting it out. They are. Sweet Soul has been firing, taking pop shots that way to Nikos. They're trying to hold back Team Bliss here from advancing even further. Although Edge does have some vehicles at his disposal right now, he can use that. Look at the shift here coming off. Definitely a lot of capabilities, possibilities. Oath's going to need to make their way in. It seems like Athletico is just staying completely quiet. And here comes a crash fight. Athletico and Oath. Extreme gets the opening knock.
Well, gets two. He gets two absolutely incredible hold. My gosh. Quickly traded, though. Wolf with the drive-by. Oh, man. But Rello here now at the wall. It's going to be Flood peeking through the windows. I think Shoot to Kill's also a third party down the Flood, so he can't over-peek on outside the windows here. Tag down to 4 HP. Nade over onto Wolf. Oh, and he's going to try to jump out. No first aids. He only has bandages, so he has to go for the fight.
And they got Snakers back up, and that's going to be elimination number 9 there on Athletico. Great job, Oath, as a 3-man pushing in and taking care of that. But continuing, Team Bliss, as I said, they get in their vehicle. Edge, Critical can't make it, but Edge is able to get there and get out. All 4 of Ferox is kind of eyeing him, pushing him. He goes more towards the west. He gets shot at. He's coming to the east. He's going to be getting shot at, so we'll see where he decides to kind of hole up at.
Yeah, doesn't quite know exactly. He's going to stop over there by that ridge. He's going to have all 4 members probably of Ferox here just looking at him, putting some pressure. I think Grumps is going to have a really good angle on him as soon as he comes up over. Yes, he is. M16, so it's going to take a few shots to get the knock on him, so he's going to run up and try to get a little bit closer. But yeah, 7 teams, 21 alive as we see.
The west side of the circle, lots of action going down. American Dragon and red Canids finally taking that engagement we've been waiting for. Shuru and Mystery looking to push up the third party. Let's get the frags. They know Bale potentially knocked on this shed, so they're going to look for the flush and kill there. Red Canids still maintaining all 4 members up, while American Dragon only has Vegas and Venerated needing a res. And then Mr. Shu is going to see what they can piece together out of this fight.
Yeah, FPS is split over towards the shack and have a good off angle on to all of this as soon as Vegas kind of reveals himself, and then Mystery and I think it's Roth that's still alive with them. Shuru. Gonna need to make their way across the street. Vegas gonna try to do his best to hold them out potentially. Instead, he's gonna throw some shots over at red Canids. Mystery does go down from Alo as they're trying to cross the street, so he's gonna turn around and pick up that one for free. Vegas is just like, oh, don't mind if I do, before going out to Alo himself. So Alo gonna get
Vegas
that point back.
There. Yeah.
But let's see, over on the east side, I think we did see Oath pull up on to the shack area here where Ferox was at, and I think it's just Snakers left alive, so the crash not working out. Zenith we do see going out in 5th place over there on the west as soon as we pull away. Red Canids having a heck of a game for them. Going to clean that one up, so it's just going to be... What is this, a 1v1 right now between Oath and Ferox? But the res came out. Yes, it is. So it's now back to a 1v2. Nade up over the top right by Nikos is going to get the re-knock here. So it's now going to be a 1v1 once again. Sweet Soul versus Snakers. Let's see who's going to reign supreme in this one.
Snakers peeks over, gets the flush on Grumps. Nico's on his second knock. He's going to be bleeding a little bit faster than usual. Sweet Soul not electing to go for the res, not's going to have time. Snakers retreats back to his dip where he has a couple vehicles that he needs to use if he wants. Sweet Soul's going to try, but maybe a decoy smoke or something as he tries to get out of this situation. It is a 1v1 on this side with 4 up from Red Canids, 4 up from SDK as they are actually kind of gearing up to fight themselves. Rusty is knocked. They're trying to get the res in before SDK pounces.
Yeah, both players over there on the east side inside the zone, but we'll zoom away, take a quick look here at the shoot to kill and Red Canids fight. Rusty is knocked, and it is going to be very tough here. FPS using some smokes to reposition from the tree that he currently was behind, but we do see Uncivil. He is going to be swinging around on the high ground right above him. He's going to spot FPS really close to him. He's getting tagged up, is going to get the knock, so he's going to have a great angle to overlook the shack area where all 3 members here for Red Canids currently are at. Purdy's going to be looking down there as well. They're pretty much stuck in the shack now, unfortunately, for the Red Canids here. I know Kill Demo is behind a tree, but this is looking really tough for them.
Definitely looking grim, and you got to commend SDK on their split here. Or not their split, but just their setup in general. Knowing that Red Canids is 4 up, knowing that there's probably either a 2-man or 2 snakes out there, they really start to spread out. Alo is going to take that off angle as well as holding the east side of the circle. Luke, Birdie, and Uncivil spreading out so they can cover all angles at once. And now, as a 4-man, they look to pounce, but there goes Snakers returning or starting some shots out of Alo, which makes him turn around and not pounce. Alo obviously.
Oh, Molly.
His teammate. Yeah, the Molly is going to clear out Red Canids. Easy work there as they throw multiple mollies in that vicinity and gets the job done. Civil kind of playing anchor here for SDK at the moment. Both Snakes still on top of the hill. If I were them, I'd be trying to get one, and they do. Snakers is able to pick up a point and now realize that it's going to be a 4v1 against SDK. Not sure if he's going to run for the blue and get the denial or look for a Superman play here.
I love seeing how so many teams have already adapted to utilizing the molly much more than they had previously with the nade nerf. It's absolutely incredible to see more utility utilized ever since the nade utility. I'll call it utility changes because everything got changed. It wasn't just the nade nerf, but Snakers, he is going to go down there after trying to pull off the 1v4 against Shoot to Kill, who in the final game of the day, first place with 9 kills.
First place, 9 kills. Great finish by Shoot to Kill. Gets their first win of the day, as Famacity was saying. Definitely a strong overall performance. I mean, we have seen some really strong consistency out of Oath as well. Snakers, Wolf, Shimboy, Rello contracting about 8 kills altogether in the second place, and they have just been consistently piling points on. They're going to continue to get that first place position as Shoot to Kill will also jet up the leaderboard. Also in third place, Ferox doing a great job. Nico's holding down as a snake for so long. 8 kills altogether in third place. And Red Canids, I mean, they came out firing, even though they went out in fourth and all those teams are still ahead of them. Picking up 10 kills in fourth place, that's a strong outing.
Yeah, Red Canids throughout the night tonight have been very involved early. They've been going for a lot of splits that, puts them at a little bit of higher risk. So they've been picking up a few points that way. But a lot of times we have seen them kind of regroup into the late game and, be productive throughout it, the entirety of the game to pick up these types of kills. So this game in particular, 5 kills on Zera, 10 total for the rest of the team in the fourth place. A very good outing for them with this one.
Most definitely. Folks, at this point, we're going to be wrapping up the cast. I do appreciate Famacity hanging out with me, coming in, saving the day with the observation, as it would not have gone if I continued on that end. Overall, we do appreciate you guys sticking with us, hanging out through the difficulties. I hope Famacity and I were able to put on some sort of production for you guys to enjoy the first 6 games of the 3-3 Royale. Don't forget, we're going to be coming in tomorrow with everything fixed up, everything smoothed out, production not an issue at all. And we're going to be going balls to the wall, performing this for you. All of our integrations will be live and ready to go, especially with the casters feeling better and the internet up and running. Also, next Saturday, the Americas game 7 through 12 will also take place on 303 Esports main channel. Again, thank you all you guys. I'm not going to go through the whole thank you spiel today because it was just me and Famacity. But tomorrow we'll go through the whole thing. And Famacity, thanks again for joining me on such short notice.
Not a problem. I'm happy. I woke up, I saw the message, and then like I was downstairs in front of my computer in 2 minutes, ready to help out. So I'm happy I was able to help out today.
It's like, help, Famacity, save
right.
the day. And he puts on his cape, got his coffee, and he came on in. But again, thank you all for hanging out with us. Tomorrow will be absolutely insane, and make sure to have those emotes ready because we're going to be doing some cool viewership activities. But overall, thanks again, guys, and you all have a fantastic day. Thanks for tuning in to day 1 of the 303 Royale. Good night, guys.